petition to do that right now is a few signatures short. Alice Marie Johnson is out of prison in Alabama. Her sentence commuted by President Trump after his meeting with the reality star Kim Kardashian West.
This is not a publicity thing for her. Kim told me when she left that White House meeting that no matter how this turns out, that she will never stop fighting for me until I come home.
Johnson, 63 years old, sentenced in 1996 to life without parole for drug offenses. The Supreme Court and President Obama had rejected her appeals and request for clemency. A late-night host apologizes in her first show back on air.
Comedian Samantha Bee on her TBS show Full Frontal again saying she's sorry for calling Ivanka Trump a feckless C word for not standing up to her father's immigration policies. Bee saying, I crossed the line and I do apologize for that. Bee also says she's sorry that her words distracted from the issue she was trying to bring up in the first place, that being immigrant children separated from their parents as they try to come into the U.S. After Bee's original comments, two sponsors, State Farm and Autotrader.com, had pulled their ads from the show. Jill Nato, Fox News.
International stock markets hitting a 3-week high today. Dow futures are up 48 ahead of the opening bell. Fox News, fair and balanced.
In Chicago, 64 degrees. We have partly cloudy skies this early morning, but there could be some rain and thunder on the way throughout the midday and afternoon in your forecast. Kevin Snyder is along with that in just a moment. But first, the stories we're following this early morning on AM 560, The Answer. One man is dead following a police shooting on Chicago's South Side. Authorities say officers were conducting a narcotics investigation last night in the 300 block of 47th Street when they began chasing a man who ran from them. An armed confrontation ensued, and the officer shot that man, who later died at a nearby hospital. Gun recovered from the scene. Police sergeant was hospitalized after suffering a severe injury while jumping a fence. Chicago Teachers Union President Karen Lewis is back in the hospital after undergoing brain surgery. Multiple news outlets reporting yesterday's procedure part of an ongoing treatment for a 2014 brain cancer diagnosis. A Chicago woman will be spending 35 years in prison for the murder of her 4-year-old son in 2011. Crystal Valdez was sentenced yesterday after being convicted last year in the beating death of her son, Christopher. Valdez's boyfriend was also found guilty in the boy's murder back in 2013. He is sentenced to 75 years in prison. Family and friends and fellow jurists are mourning the passing of a legendary Chicago judge, George Layton. Died yesterday at a veterans hospital in Brockton, Massachusetts, at the age of 105. Layton was the first black judge appointed to the Illinois Appellate Court. Cook County's main criminal courthouse at 26th in California was named in his honor in 2012. In the wake of the Chicago Public Schools sex abuse scandal, Chicago Public Schools Inspector General now wants his office to take over investigations into allegations of sexual abuse by students by CPS staff. AM 560's David Stewart has a follow-up to a story that broke yesterday.
The Inspector General, Nicholas Schuler, says he wants to end a potential conflict of interest because now the CPS legal department handles both the questioning of complaining students and then defends the school system against any lawsuits the students may file. Mayor Emanuel is promising quick remediation. Governor Rauner says an independent inquiry is warranted.
This deserves an independent investigation, and we have to take strong action to keep our students and our staff safe.
The Chicago Tribune has outlined numerous cases over the years where CPS failed to act quickly on sexual abuse complaints. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
The family of an Elgin woman who was shot and killed by police in March is suing that city. DeCynthia Clements was gunned down by an Elgin police officer during a long standoff along I-90. Lawsuit filed by her family claims the shooting was unjustified. Charges pending following a fire this week that forced a woman to jump to her death on Chicago's north side. Investigators believe that Tuesday morning fire was intentionally set, and a person of interest has been arrested. A black Chicago firefighter is under fire after taking a knee during the national anthem before a charity football game last week honoring two fallen Chicago heroes. Cameron McGarity kneeled before the Chicago Blaze played against the Chicago Police Department enforcers in the First Responders Bowl last Saturday at Brother Rice High School. The game played in honor of slain police commander Paul Bauer and fallen fire department diver Juan Bucio. There's talk of kicking McGarity off the Blaze next season. An elderly Elgin woman is making changes in order to keep an impeach President Trump sign in her yard. Follow-up to a story we told you about yesterday. The city asked Myra Becker to take down the sign Monday because it was too big. Daily Herald now reports the 94-year-old who was originally planning to fight the city request has instead cut that sign down to an acceptable city size. It's been nearly a year since Chinese-born U of I scholar disappeared, and authorities still do not know where her body is. Saturday will mark the one-year anniversary of Ying Zhang's disappearance. Investigators say the former University of Illinois student, Brent Christensen, kidnapped her, but can only say he likely killed her. Southern Illinois University's president could be out of a job by the end of the day tomorrow. Trustees at the school announcing a surprise meeting where they could place SIU President Randy Dunn on permanent leave. Dunn is under fire from some at the university's main campus in Carbondale for pitching a plan to treat SIU Edwardsville's campus equally. Family of the late Saturday Night Live star Chris Farley settling a major federal lawsuit against Wisconsin-based Trek Bicycle. Suit alleges Trek misappropriated Farley's name when naming its fat-tired bikes Farley. Terms of the settlement were reached yesterday, but are confidential. Spokesman says Trek can continue making Farley bikes. Chris Farley was born and raised in Madison, Wisconsin, but he died here in Chicago in 1997 from a drug overdose. Chicago sports, Jason Hayward launched a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth inning. Cubs knock off the Phillies 7-5 at Wrigley.
No, it's great because, the game's over. Nothing else can happen to take it away from you. And how hard we worked to get to that point in that situation. It's just nice for it to come through.
Tim Anderson, a pair of singles, driving in 3. White Sox down the Twins 5-2 at Target Field. Bears close out mandatory minicamp today, and the Fire 10-9 winners on penalty kicks in the 4th round of the U.S. Open Cup. Two teams beat the Fire and Crew were tied at 2 before the penalty kick shootout began. The news service of Geico Chicagoland. Hey, Chicago, Geico has even more ways to help save you money. Kevin, your local Geico agent, is ready to deliver the personal service you need with the savings you love. Stop by his local office on Cicero Avenue or call 773-582-8888 for Kevin, your local Geico agent. 5:08 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Freak yeah, Jimmy John's.
Freak yeah, what if I just needed one sandwich delivered?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
What about 100 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
What about 24 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
67 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
67's a prime number.
Freak yeah, a whole number greater than one whose only factors are one in itself, I know.
Great. I'll take one Turkey Tom, please.
Freak yeah, one Turkey Tom, on the way.
Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah!
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. And during our Memorial Day sale, go to helixsleep.com/talkradio and you'll get up to $150 towards your mattress order. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
Napa know-how. Your broken AC may not be broken. It may just need a recharge with the Avalanche AC Recharge Kit. Just $39.99 plus an additional $15 prepaid Visa card by mail. Just pull the trigger and brrr. The Avalanche AC Recharge Kit. Now $39.99 plus $15 prepaid Visa card. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 6/30/18.
When you need bug bite relief.
Ow! Ow! What? Ow! Yikes!
Stepped in an ant bed relief.
What a pretty plant. Wait, is that...
Poison ivy relief. You need the power of Gold Bond Relief. Gold Bond Rapid Relief Cream has twice the medicines of hydrocortisone formulas to fight itch and relieve minor pain. Plus, vitamin E and aloe to help soothe skin fast. Gold Bond Relief starts now. Use as directed.
5:11 on AM 560. It is time for a dry basement and a healthy home. And time to call Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. Let's get an update on the early morning roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. Inbound Ryan, it's heavy. Canalport to the Burns Circle. Overnight roadwork is finally clearing out of the left lane. A bit late, about 21 minutes from 95th to downtown. Outbound Fawn is 15 minutes. The other expressways and tollways are looking pretty good at this hour. The other overnight work is gone. There is going to be a closure of the Columbus Bridge downtown, 9:30 this morning till 2:30 this afternoon for some maintenance. Still Cubs traffic at Wrigleyville today. Concert traffic around Northerly Island. Traffic service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs? Discover Student Loans, one of the top private student loan lenders in the country. Great rate, zero fees, plus students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Here is our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, partly sunny, a shower or thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon, high 79. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a shower or thunderstorm in the area, low 59. Couple of showers and a thunderstorm tomorrow, high 77. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
62 at O'Hare, 60 along the lakefront. A little warmer to the south, 68 at Midway, 69 in Lansing, 66 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, will Me Too fell Madigan, the longest lording State House Speaker in U.S. history, is in the crosshairs again as it relates to staff, senior staff. His longtime implementation tool, Tim Mapes, Chief of Staff, resigning yesterday in the wake of complaints by one Sherry Garrett, a $42,000 a year account technician in state government. Allegations by Ms. Garrett that Tim Mapes made inappropriate comments to her.
Oh, yeah, he'd ask her, hey, do you have a pink bra underneath that shirt? At one function, he went up to her and said that.
And also when she suggested that there were inappropriate comments directed by other legislators to her, he dismissed them. He didn't kind of level them up for any sort of investigation. It was remarkable. I mean, Mapes has been with Madigan for a long time, and it was remarkable how fast it happened. There was this announcement that there was going to be a press conference at 11 with a new accuser, making new allegations against a new target. Mapes was identified at about 11 o'clock. A couple hours later, Madigan released a statement saying that at my direction, Tim Mapes has resigned as my chief of staff and clerk of the Illinois House of Representatives. That is,
and as director of the Democratic Party of Illinois.
Treasurer, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting. This is now number 4 in 4 months within Madigan's
circle
orbit, right? So you had Elena Hampton against Madigan field goon. You had Lou Lang, obviously his deputy majority leader, who has not resigned. He's fighting the accusations against him made by Marianne Lancour last week. We had her on the show.
And certain people just step down from their positions, their leadership positions, rather than resign. But this is the first time.
He did, right?
Right.
And then you had Kelly Cassidy,
that's right,
state rep, and now you've got Mapes. Could this be the end of Madigan? I remember what I said when we were talking about Lancour, and even previously with Cassidy. Could the Me Too movement, as blunt an instrument as it is, could it actually do for Illinois what the Republican Party is unwilling to do, what the Illinois electorate has been unmotivated to do, which is reorder the political power structure in this state? Sherry Garrett yesterday at the press conference outlining her complaints and allegations.
Over the course of the last several years, I have endured and have personally witnessed bullying and repeated harassment that was often sexual and sexist in nature in my workplace. In my case, this harassment has taken place at the highest levels in the State House. Tim Mapes, Chief of Staff to Speaker Madigan, has made repeated inappropriate comments to me and around me, both in the office and on the House floor. I have decided to come forward this morning because we have a serious and pervasive problem in our state government, and I could no longer remain silent about my own mistreatment. My hope is that by coming forward, I can create space for others to do the same. Mr. Mapes is the Chief of Staff to the...
And now remember a little bit more of the backstory here in terms of what's transpired over the last 6 to 8 months. You had 300 plus women who work in and around state government in Springfield sign this letter last year talking about the culture of sexual harassment in Springfield. So far, effectively, 3 have come forward. So there's a lot more women, I suspect, with a lot more stories to tell. And I'm not suggesting at all that it's limited to Mike Madigan and his henchmen, and I'm not suggesting it's limited at all to the Democrats.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's a lot more women out there.
There are, and they're going to keep coming forward, and I hope that they do, because they talked about, she accused him of inappropriate comments about her clothing that I mentioned, the pink bra, and made jokes about sexual harassment training that they all had to attend.
The only way as an employee to see Speaker Madigan is you have to make an appointment through Tim.
And that's why she wanted to go to him, but she couldn't because she had to go to Tim, the person who was making sexually inappropriate comments.
Tim Mapes said, completely out of nowhere, that I needed to make sure that I was not showing my pink bra to the judge during Inauguration Day, because he knows how the girls who work on the second floor like to leave little to the imagination.
So she described it as a men's locker room mentality. That was the environment she was working in.
You also had her, talking about Miss Garrett, make an allegation against former state representative Ken Duncan.
Oh, yeah, who now is on the Water Reclamation Board, right?
I want to take, he said, according to her and another woman, I want to take both of you home and see which one will be the naughtiest.
There's that word you don't like. Naughty.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God.
You know, it's like moist. It's just one of those words I don't, God, especially when a guy says naughty. Oh, God.
But I'm a woman, so it's not as bad. But especially for him to say that, who's going up to 2 ladies? Can you imagine? Now, who's the naughtiest? Come on, ladies.
Yeah, I've heard comments about Duncan's comments before, so that's not exactly, I would say, out of character for him, unfortunately. By the way, Ken Duncan, former Democrat state rep, but a Republican appointee to the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, Governor Rauner, appointed Ken Duncan to the MWRD, and now yesterday Governor Rauner suggested that his recent appointee to the MWRD should resign.
Yes. So he used to be. So the state rep Ken Duncan, Democrat, now Republican. All right. got
He's
it.
not a Republican.
He's
I'm
not a
saying he was
Republican,
appointed by Rauner.
Yes. But Jeannie Ives weighed in on this because your time has come, Democrats.
The Democrats have a real problem in this culture of sexual harassment, and it's not going to get changed with Speaker Madigan in charge.
She's not the only one saying that. The Chicago Tribune editorial board chiming in. The Me Too hypocrites of Springfield. When will Democrat members, especially those who make a public show of their opposition to harassment, grow a spine? They're all about Me Too when it's trendy, just not when it actually matters.
And when it's on their doorstep.
Casper in West Chicago, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning, Dan. Amy.
Hi.
I can't believe it. It's like here in CNN, the part of CNN, fake news, you know. When Trump do something like this and CNN say something about it, what you say? It's just fake news. You just want to say something to punish this poor man. You know, Madigan is doing a lot of good for this state. Come on, man. You can do this to this very good man like Trump. Trump has been doing this for 12 women right now.
Casper, can
and
I?
what you say? What somebody say about Trump?
Casper, can I say something? Can I say something to you?
It's over.
Casper,
so
you know,
right now,
Casper,
so right now,
Casper,
the Me Too movement is good for you.
Yeah, Casper.
But what is with Trump is not good for you.
Yeah, Casper. Now I'm talking. Now I'm talking, Casper.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You know, I guess I'm not talking. Okay, Casper.
Okay,
now you're not talking. Bye. You're I have a great affinity for Casper.
I love Casper too.
And
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
I find him hilarious. So let me just set that up. But if you say that Mike Madigan has done a lot of good for this state,
wow, you must be living on the border of Wisconsin.
well, I just don't think there's much more for us to talk about. For people who believe that Mike Madigan has been a force for good in the state for the last 4 decades,
Even liberal Democrats know that he's not been good for this state.
you're why this state is the worst governed state in the history of America. Casper and West Chicago, case in point. We can talk about Madigan, and his time will come, and he will go, and that will be great. But the real problem in Illinois is Casper and West Chicago. Do you understand that? Mike Madigan has done a lot of good for this state. Robert in Oak Brook.
Laughable.
Yeah, real quick, a question for you. If you get fired, you get a pension. But if you resign, and that's got to be one heck of a pension. I mean, is that? And real quick, Penthouse Forum is listening real carefully, going, God, I got my next article.
Yeah, right. Thanks for the call, Robert. Mapes is set for $125,000 starting pension.
Yeah.
Starting pension.
I mean, it's bad if Laura Washington, who's a liberal, she's a political analyst for ABC 7, says this.
I think he's more vulnerable than he's ever been before. The Me Too movement has brought down many more powerful men than him.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Dan in Libertyville.
Good morning, Dan, Amy. Hey, you guys got to have more Casper on here. That guy is hilarious.
He
That's
is.
the best gut laugh I've had in years.
He's a riot. There's no question. Thanks, Dan.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I mean, he was joking, right? Casper was? That Madigan has made this state great again?
Casper, no Safeway Day.
Ayúdame, Casper. Today, partly sunny. We do have a chance of a quick passing shower or thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. A high near 80 degrees. Tonight, a shower or thunderstorm in the area, a low in the upper 50s. And for tomorrow, you're going to have some clouds and sun. A couple of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 77. Let's get into the alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here is Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. On the roads of Madaganistan, as John Cass likes to call it, things aren't too bad yet. Inbound Ryan, little heavy Canal Port to the Burn Circle. Overnight work clear, just a bit late, out of the left lane. 18 minutes is the travel time, 95th to downtown. Outbound 15, still some work from 87th to Split with 3 left lanes. Inbound Bishop Ford, about a 1 or 2 minute delay from Cottage Grove to the merge. The other expressways and tollways right now look fine. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Oh, boy. All right, stand by for Turnkey. All right, if you're a business owner, you've experienced your fair share of emergencies, and they always seem to happen at the worst time. Wouldn't it be nice to have someone on call 24/7 to help for whatever may come up? It's not possible for every emergency, but it's available for your business's IT and computer systems. With a support agreement, Turnkey IT will keep your computer systems online and running with no worries. If an emergency does pop up, Turnkey IT is prompt and responsive without charging an enormous after-hours rate. The certified pros at Turnkey proactively keep your business computer systems online with remote and on-site support. And right now, for a limited time, you can save up to $500 a month on a support contract plus unlimited cloud backup at no cost. Enjoy the secure feeling of your network being supported by Turnkey IT 24/7. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro.
On AM 560 The Answer, we talk about the important issues that affect your world. Things like the economy, education, and foreign policy. There's always so much going on in the news that we don't always have the time to focus in and talk about the big ideas behind the important issues. Enter Upstream Ideas online at upstream-ideas.com. Upstream Ideas, in partnership with the Illinois Opportunity Project, provides the kind of information that informs the policy discussions happening here on AM 560. At Upstream Ideas, you'll broaden the debate, move beyond partisan assumptions, and challenge accepted beliefs. Upstream Ideas goes against the current and thinks upstream. Go online now at upstream-ideas.com. That's upstream-ideas.com. You'll be armed with new information and fresh perspectives to help encourage you to make the state of Illinois and the United States of America a bit freer, a bit more just, and a bit more civilized. Upstream-ideas.com.
People have long associated the Ozinga name with concrete, but truth be told, Ozinga has always been on a quest to create a better world. We want to help you build your business so you can provide for your family, create better jobs, and build your community. It's why we constantly engineer better concrete, haul raw materials, and supply cleaner fuel. Together, we can positively impact the places where we live, work, and play throughout the Chicagoland area. To learn more, go to ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
So, you're a truck driver, a clutch cowboy, a wrangler of the road. At Ozinga, you are exactly who we need. Concrete truck drivers. People who aren't afraid of a little adventure and hard work. If you're tired of monotony and are looking to build something that matters, then come build with us. At Ozinga, we are building our families, our communities, and our country. Apply online today at ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
You know your old windows are costing a pretty penny in energy costs, and they don't look that great either. But finding the right company for doors and windows is confusing. Options, choices, pushy salespeople. Seems everyone wants to sell and install doors and windows. But you want someone who specializes, not a jack of all trades. The specialty at Next Door and Window is doors and windows. It's right in their name. You want only the best in quality and looks. Next Door and Window delivers with the largest selection of wood-clad, vinyl, and fiberglass products and custom stains and paints for a look and match that no one else can offer. Right now, get 33% off installation when you schedule a free quote by June 30th. Next Door and Window has showrooms in Arlington Heights, Burr Ridge, and Naperville. Online at nextdoorandwindow.com. But you want to call now to schedule your free quote. Hurry and do it before June 30th. Call 630-590-1370. That's 630-590-1370.
Next Door and Window, thousands of options, one perfect fit.
You want to find a used car. You want to find a great deal on a used car. Well, lucky for you, we want what you want. We're Carfax. Just say, show me the Carfax, and you can find great deals on used cars and start saving today. Because now you can search millions of used car listings at Carfax.com. You'll see the best deals right away, because only Carfax gives you the most accurate price based on a car's history. Now you can start your used car search and start saving at Carfax.com.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, You must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Common Ground Alliance.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on, Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, where are his priorities? President Trump pardons a convicted drug dealer before pardoning Blago.
Maybe Patty should enlist Khloe Kardashian to speak to the president.
I tweeted yesterday, I said, Patty, you need to keep up with the Kardashians.
There you go. Also, does the Miss America organization decision to scrap the swimsuits, is it bold and praiseworthy even if it costs Miss America pageant viewers? At 5:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Outside this morning, we have cloudy skies, and we'll continue to see clouds that gather throughout the day, and perhaps some rain or thunderstorms later on in the afternoon. Republican leaders in the U.S. House will meet later today. We'll see if they can come up with a compromise on immigration legislation. President Trump is granting clemency to an Alabama woman serving life in prison for a nonviolent drug charge. Alice Johnson was released yesterday from federal prison. Her daughter, Tressa, spoke out after hearing the news.
I thank President Trump for extending some mercy towards my mother and giving her a second chance, because this is really saving her life.
Reality television personality Kim Kardashian West was apparently instrumental in getting Johnson released. One man is dead following a police shooting on Chicago's South Side. Authorities say officers were conducting a narcotics investigation last night on East 47th when they began chasing a man who ran from them. A gun was recovered at the scene, a police sergeant hospitalized with what is being termed a broken ankle. Chicago Teachers Union President Karen Lewis is back in the hospital after undergoing more treatment for brain cancer. Multiple news outlets are reporting the procedure is part of her ongoing treatment after brain cancer was discovered in 2014. Elgin's interim police chief is taking a new job in Schaumburg. Bill Wolf has served as deputy chief in that suburb since 2013. Major League Baseball is mourning the loss of its oldest living Hall of Famer. This morning, Cardinals second baseman and manager Red Schoendienst passed away at the age of 95. Schoendienst managed the Cardinals to 2 pennants and a World Series title in the 1960s. He was also elected to the Hall of Fame in 1989. He signed his first professional contract in 1943 at his parents' home in Germantown, Illinois. Chicago sports, Cubs knock off the Phillies 7-5 at Wrigley Field. Cubs and Phillies play the rubber match of their 3-game series this afternoon at Wrigley. Tim Anderson had a pair of RBI singles. White Sox down the Twins 5-2 at Target Field. Golden State, one win away from another NBA title. You can almost book it, as Kevin Durant had 43 in the Warriors' win over the Cavaliers, 110-102. The news service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs, Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates and zero fees. Plus, students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes there's lots of layers to the canceling of Roseanne.
I'm angry at her for the stupidity of this tweet. I'm angry but not surprised at the pathetic attempt to link a Roseanne tweet to President Trump. It shouldn't be unexpected. They jumped on that bandwagon over at CNN in a heartbeat.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Get your truly free credit score and free credit monitoring from Credit Karma. Download the Credit Karma app today. Credit Karma. Get knowing.
Wow, what a difference. I feel like I live in a brand new home, and it's all thanks to CertaPro Painters. Hi, Amy Jacobson here, and while we are on our trip, I gave CertaPro Painters a key to my house. They came in, painted the living room, master bedroom, and it is impressive. Nothing like a fresh coat of paint to change the vibe of your house. CertaPro painters are trustworthy. Obviously, I gave them a key to my house. They're professional, talented, and they clean up their mess. It's as if they were never there. And now that summer is coming, you're going to want to hire CertaPro painters too. You know, family and friends will be over for outdoor entertainment, and you want your house to look its best. Get your porch painted or stained. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C, or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Once again, get a free estimate at CertaPro.com or call 1-800-GO-CERTA. CertaPro painters, we do painting, you do life.
It is 5:35 and a check of our morning roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Inbound Eisenhower Expressway traffic is heavy from Manheim to 25th Avenue at 30 minutes from 390 to downtown. How about 5 at 29? No delays to report yet on the Eden Kennedy. On Stevenson, delays start at Cass Avenue. 42 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. On Ryan, delays start around the Stevenson. 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57 is good. Bishop Ford, you've got a 5-minute delay. 111th at the merge. Tollways are fine. Northwest Indiana looks good. Traffic is a service of LifeLock. LifeLock Identity Theft Protection has added Norton Security to help protect you against cyber criminals. Protection for your identity and devices. Go to LifeLock.com. Enter promo code RISK for an extra 10% off the low starting price at $7.99 a month. Terms apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1-hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center. Partly sunny with a shower or thunderstorm in spots by the afternoon, a high of 79. Currently 64. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by On Target Radio. From firearms and Second Amendment rights to personal freedoms and government intrusions. Listen here Sunday nights at 9.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Did you know that London is kind of like becoming the murder capital of the world? We'll talk about it when Freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Yesterday, after a meeting with Kim Kardashian at the White House last week,
yes,
President Trump decided to honor Kim's request, I guess, to commute the sentence of one Alice Johnson, who was serving a 25-year life sentence with no possibility of parole for her role in a drug laundering operation.
Yeah, she was arrested
in
for
Memphis.
Possession of cocaine and money laundering. But a lot of people say, no, she was in charge of a drug cartel. But for some reason, Kim Kardashian and her husband, Kanye West, became involved in this case, wanted, to make sure that she got out. So, yeah, Kim Kardashian has a lot of reality TV star power. And I'm upset this morning because I think President Trump's priorities are out of line. I think he should have pardoned Rod Blagojevich first because his daughter is graduating from Northwestern this weekend. And I
don't know what one has to do with the other. It's the merits of the case. It's not, what's going on in your family's life. That's not the basis for a commutation or a pardon, but okay.
Yeah, but
I know you just want him out regardless.
But he's catering to celebrities. I mean, Sylvester Stallone was behind the Jack Johnson pardon push. And now, and he did the photo op with him in the Oval Office.
Yeah, maybe get Chloe to go to bat with POTUS for Blago, maybe. But here's the thing. Yes, there's some celebrity that's associated with this, and maybe that's the difference maker for Trump. But the merits of the case. So Jack Johnson was wrongly prosecuted.
I agree that he should have been pardoned.
Right. So on the merits, there's not a lot of disagreement, or there shouldn't be. Alice Johnson is an interesting case, too. Catherine Timpf has a good piece in National Review on it. When she got involved in the drug business. She was going through, she had divorced in 1989. In 1990, she lost her job at FedEx, which she had had for a decade because of a gambling addiction. She couldn't pay her bills, filed for bankruptcy. Her house was foreclosed on. Then in 92, her youngest son was killed in a motorcycle accident.
Oh.
She said, was the last straw for her. She decided to start making money in a way that she later regretted. I went into complete panic, and out of desperation, I made one of the worst decisions of my life to make some quick money. She has acknowledged wrongdoing, which distinguishes her from Blagojevich, by the way. I want this to be clear. I acknowledge that I have done wrong. I made the biggest mistake of my life to make ends meet and got involved with people selling drugs.
Okay. And she's forever grateful to President Trump. I don't know if you saw her when she got out of prison. She had on this white outfit, and she literally ran across the street with her arms up in the air screaming. It was really just a moment of jubilation, and she's very appreciative to President Trump.
Well, I want to say to President Trump, I am going to make you proud that you gave me this second chance in life, and I will not disappoint the American public or the world who has so much faith in me. All I can say is thank you, President Trump. And I love you, President Trump. Thank you. And I want to tell Kim, my war angel, that you never gave up on me. You never gave up your fight. You were relentless, and it has paid off beautifully for me and my family on this day.
Also, again, what kind of prisoner was she in terms of the calculation on the commutation? She became an ordained minister and mentor, playwright, and a counselor. She spent time with inmates who were suicidal. She didn't have a single disciplinary infraction on her record during her 21 years in prison.
Yeah, model inmate, so that's good.
She has vowed to continue to help people behind bars when she's released. She even insisted that she'd have a job ready if she ever got out previously. And so you're talking about somebody who was, the whole nonviolent drug offender thing is a bit of a misnomer as far as I'm concerned. You're involved in a violent business. Because you didn't commit violence, you're still facilitating violence. So, yeah.
It helps that she's a great grandma. It helps that she was an exemplary, prison inmate.
Yes, it all helps, and I think this is a fairly compelling case for a commutation after 21 years. I'm just saying, some of the celebration is a little too aggressive for me. The kind of the ACLU definition of nonviolent drug offender is less than forthright. But the point here is that it's hard to argue with the merits of the two cases, even against the backdrop of suggestions that Trump is using his pardon power only for celebrity or in response to celebrity, sort of the same thing, and or to take shots at Team Mueller and all of the enemies of the Trump administration.
Yeah, they believe it is an overreach of government, overreach of the Justice Department for some felons who were, convicted on drug convictions to spend their entire lives in prison.
Well, right, but the issue is Trump using his pardon power judiciously and responsibly. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. By the way, before, Rocky came for Jack Johnson or Kim came for Alice Johnson, there were efforts previously to level up these cases for consideration for a pardon in the Jack Johnson case and a commutation in the Alice Johnson case. So it's not like this is just because, or this is the first time, or somehow these cases got moved to the front of the president's attention just because of Stallone and Kardashian. They were around, kicking around. There were efforts before because these cases are pretty solid on the merits. Dinesh D'Souza, maybe a bit of a different story.
Maybe. Do you think he should have been pardoned?
I think that's a bit of a different story. I think.
Care to elaborate?
He admitted he did wrong.
Right.
We've talked to him before. It wasn't like a screw up. It was
calculated and planned.
Well, it was knowingly acting to subvert campaign finance laws. So it's a crime. I mean, is it usually prosecuted as aggressively as it was by Preet Bharara in New York against D'Souza? Was the prosecution, did that have a political overtone? Sure. Should these crimes, campaign finance violations like D'Souza committed, should they be felonies so that you have a felony record? Arguably not. However, that's not the way the rule of law works. If you want to change that, then you should change the campaign finance laws and the associated penalties, which I would be supportive of, by the way. But pardoning D'Souza's conviction, he wasn't wrongly prosecuted. He may have been more aggressively prosecuted than someone without his profile or his political leanings would have been. But he wasn't wrongly prosecuted.
And does this, does this help President Trump's image of, people say he's a racist and he hates minorities. Does this help with that? Could this attract African Americans to the Republican Party?
I don't know. I mean, the left is never going to stop. It doesn't matter what he does. He's Hitler, racist, Ku Klux Klan member, white supremacist, alt-right. I mean, it doesn't matter what he does because they just use those terms, the isms and the phobias, in lieu of arguments. They're just the left just does branding campaigns. They don't make arguments.
Well,
they don't take policy positions. They just seek to vilify their enemies, trumping at the top of that list. So I don't know how much currency it has, but maybe. I mean, if you have ambassadors out there, this case is going to get a lot of attention. Right now there's a lot of push across party lines for criminal justice reform, alternative sentencing for the quote-unquote nonviolent drug offenders and so forth.
Jared Kushner's working on that.
So, but I mean, that's happening at the state level too, and it's been going on for a while. And so the point is, could this be a goodwill gesture to a segment of the population that feels like the deck is stacked against them, that they don't have equal justice before the law, that the penalties are more harsh on black drug offenders than on white drug offenders, and there's some evidence to support that claim, perhaps.
Guess where Alice Johnson had her first meal? At the Red Lobster. And Kim Kardashian thanked President Trump.
I think in life, everyone makes mistakes, and she really deserves a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Kim Kardashian has had a second and third chance at marriage.
That's right. That other one, the placeholder, right? What was he? The basketball player, the NBA guy?
Yeah, he doesn't matter.
Oh. Is he even in the NBA?
You got that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You got dude.
I think she's on too.
Well, I'm thinking of Ray J, right? The sex tape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who is Ray J? Is he a rapper or an athlete?
He was a rapper.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if he's ever actually had any songs. I'm not sure. I just remember that mainly. But that's also why I mainly remember Kim Kardashian. So I guess.
So the Trump meeting Rump summit paid off.
Did Rump go to Red Lobster with Alice? No?
No, she went with her great-grandchildren and everybody. They all went to Red Lobster.
Huh.
What would be your first meal after 20 years in prison? I think I'd want a gyro.
Really?
From Five Faces. Oh, yeah. With extra fries. Large Diet Coke. Not that I've thought about it.
I'd probably go to Oven Grinder for the pizza.
Oh, yeah. But you have to pay that guy to get in.
I hope I never have to wait 21 years for the Oven Grinder.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Val Kilmer returning as Iceman in Top Gun 2.
I don't think Val Kilmer can fit into the jet anymore.
Forecast for today, partly sunny, a shower or thunderstorm in spots this afternoon. A high of 79 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Eden's looking good. Kennedy inbound fine, though traffic's getting a little heavy around 190. Express lanes are open inbound. On Eisenhower, delays start at Wolf Road, 38 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. Stevenson, 43 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 27 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57 still okay. Bishop Ford, got a 5-minute delay approaching the merge. Northbound Tri-State getting tight approaching 290. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, then you need to call David Hochberg at Pearl Mortgage. Dolores, who lives alone in a $700,000 home in Arizona, after a few minor accidents, her son Dan became concerned for his mother's safety, so he called David and Team Hochberg, their reverse mortgage experts, because they were the only lender he trusted. David answered all of Dan's questions, and a Team Hochberg reverse mortgage expert helped Dolores secure a reverse mortgage to fund the necessary expert in-home care to ensure Dolores' safety, which put Dan's mind at ease. If you'd like more information how Team Hochberg reverse mortgage team can help you pay for in-home care for you or your loved one, then call David now, 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. David and Team Hochberg, reverse mortgage experts, have helped thousands of AM560 listeners. But guess what? They can't help you if you don't call. 312-751-1333, or visit am560david.com. Pro Mortgage and Equal Housing Lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, 4358, NMLS 191186.
Nowadays, there's an app for everything, and here's one that's a must-have if you golf. It's the Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app, and it'll enhance your golf experience. You can book tee times at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There's an interactive scorecard, golf games, a GPS, latest news from the club, even a food and beverage menu, Facebook sharing, and more. Just about everything you need for your golf game besides the clubs is in the palm of your hand with the new Bolingbrook Golf Club mobile app. Go to BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. BolingbrookGolfClub.com/contact/download our app. And download today.
Have a young golf enthusiast? Keep them busy this summer with the 2018 Robito Golf Academy Junior Golf Program at Bolingbrook Golf Club. It's a great chance for youngsters to learn golf fundamentals and get warmed up for the golf season by the professional teaching staff at Bolingbrook Golf Club. There are special programs divided into age groups, and sessions are still available but going fast. Get more info at BolingbrookGolfClub.com and click on Driving Range, then Junior Golf.
My name is Todd. I am a firefighter, paramedic. I'm a husband, I'm a dad, and I am no longer suffering from depression. With depression, you don't want to make friends. You just want to be alone. And it was a way of life for me. I have been seeing a psychologist for several years and not really getting anywhere. I've tried 11 different medications, which some of the side effects that I experienced were pretty severe. I finally reached out for help myself. It's very satisfying to know that something works.
HPR centers in Chicagoland and Milwaukee offer TMS therapy. In just a few weeks, you can change your life, and it's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and Medicare. You can make real progress in the battle with depression, cure or remission. Get a free consultation. 800-604-0208. 800-604-0208. HPR Centers. Go to endmydepression.com. End your depression.
Trust, trust, trust. Yes, I said trust 3 times because I want to tell you about a recent AM560 charity benefactor and company that built their business and reputation over 3 decades by being trustworthy. I'm talking about Dependable Construction and founder Joe Barron. Tuck pointing, brick, and roofing is Joe's specialty. Joe started as a laborer, then progressed to an expert tuck pointer and bricklayer. In addition to masonry and roofing, Dependable Construction has grown to become a full-service Angie's List and Better Business Bureau award-winning contractor. For brick, masonry, and roofing on residential, commercial, or industrial projects to any remodeling or construction, you'll deal directly with owner Joe Barron. So call Joe at Dependable Construction today. Mention AM560 and receive a 10% discount on most jobs. Call 773-244-1091. That's 773-244-1091, or visit tuckpointchicago.net. tuckpointchicago.net.
Every business needs great people, and a better way to find them. Something better than posting your job online and just praying for the right people to see it. ZipRecruiter knew there was a smarter way, so they built a platform that finds the right job candidates for you. ZipRecruiter learns what you're looking for, identifies people with the right experience, and invites them to apply to your job. In fact, 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just 1 day. And ZipRecruiter doesn't stop there. They even spotlight the strongest applications you receive, so you never miss a great match. Goodbye post and pray. Hello ZipRecruiter. The smartest way to hire.
People from businesses of all sizes trust ZipRecruiter for their hiring needs. We're so confident ZipRecruiter will get you better results than anywhere else. We'll let you try it free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
People have long associated the Ozinga name with concrete, but truth be told, Ozinga has always been on a quest to create a better world. We want to help you build your business so you can provide for your family, create better jobs, and build your community. It's why we constantly engineer better concrete, haul raw materials, and supply cleaner fuel. Together, we can positively impact the places where we live, work, and play throughout the Chicagoland area. To learn more, go to ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
So, you're a truck driver, a clutch cowboy, a wrangler of the road. At Ozinga, you are exactly who we need. Concrete truck drivers. People who aren't afraid of a little adventure and hard work. If you're tired of monotony and are looking to build something that matters, then come build with us. At Ozinga, we are building our families, our communities, and our country. Apply online today at ozinga.com. That's OZINGA.com.
Freak yeah, Jimmy John's.
Freak yeah, what if I just needed one sandwich delivered?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
What about 100 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
What about 24 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
67 sandwiches?
Freak yeah, we can do that.
You know, 67's a prime number.
Freak yeah, a whole number greater than one whose only factors are one in itself, I know.
Great. I'll take one turkey tom, please.
Freak yeah, one turkey tom, on the way.
Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah!
The expensive mattress you're considering buying is a waste of money. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of HelixSleep.com, the only place to get a customized mattress starting at just $600. Just go to HelixSleep.com, fill out our 2-minute sleep survey, and we'll design a mattress made just for you, with a 100-night sleep trial and financing as low as 0%. And during our Memorial Day sale, go to helixsleep.com/talkradio and you'll get up to $150 towards your mattress order. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
5:57. Let's get an update on the morning travel times. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden still looks fine. 19 minutes like Cook to Montrose. Outbound the same. Kennedy inbound. It's slow from 190 to Cumberland and Austin to Central. 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 21. On Eisenhower slow Wolf to Des Plaines Avenue and Western to the Burn Circle. 39 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound 30. At Stevenson getting heavier now. Delays starting around 355. 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 5 to 34. Mount Ryan, 27 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishopport, 25 minutes, 8094 to the merge. I-57 still good. Northbound Tri-State tight approaching 290. Traffic, service of Discover Student Loans. Figuring out how to cover college costs? Discover Student Loans is one of the top private student loan lenders in the country with great rates, zero fees, while students can earn a cash reward for their good grades. Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Partial sunshine with a shower or thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon, high 79. Then a shower or thunderstorm around tonight, low 59. Clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm tomorrow, high 77 and a low 65. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
64 at O'Hare, the news service of LifeLock. LifeLock Identity Theft Protection has added Norton Security to help protect you against cyber criminals. Protection for your identity and devices. Go to lifelock.com, enter promo code RISK for an extra 10% off the Lowe's starting price of $7.99 a month. Terms apply. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following on AM 560. The Answer. One man is dead following a police shooting on Chicago's South Side. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan's right-hand man at the State House is out of a job after another Me Too complaint. Chief of Staff Tim Mapes resigned at the Speaker's direction. Chicago Teachers Union President Karen Lewis is back in the hospital after undergoing another surgery for brain cancer. Family and friends are mourning the passing of a legendary Chicago judge, George Layton. He died yesterday at a veterans hospital in Brockton, Massachusetts, at the age of 105. Jason Hayward launches a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. Cubs beat the Phillies 7-5 at Wrigley. Tim Anderson and the White Sox down the Twins 5-2 at Target Field. Partly sunny with an afternoon thunderstorm. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Some big meetings for President Trump start today. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Tomorrow he'll be in Canada for the G7 summit before heading to Singapore to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. He'll talk about that today with the leader of Japan at the White House.
Prime Minister Abe is opposed to a compromise that would leave Japan exposed to shorter-range missiles that don't threaten the U.S. mainland or that relieves pressure on North Korea before it takes concrete steps toward complete denuclearization. Abe is also expected to ask President Trump once again to raise with Kim the fate of Japanese abducted by the North in the 1970s and 80s. Separately, Abe will also likely ask the president to remove Japan from U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs. Japan hopes to hold its own talks with North Korea after the Singapore summit. At the White House, John Decker, Fox News.
Some American government workers in southern China have been tested or sent home over unexplained health issues. In D.C., Fox's Rachel Sutherland.
Chris, the diplomat suffered concussion-like symptoms in Guangzhou, China, similar to those experienced by a diplomat there last month, into a string of so-called sonic attacks in Cuba. The workers have been brought back to the U.S. for medical testing. American officials have been trying to determine the source of the attacks, which have caused nausea, cognitive issues, and hearing loss. The New York Times reports the U.S. government is exploring the possibility some other nation than Cuba is responsible, possibly Russia or China. Chris?
Rachel, thanks. In her first show back since calling Ivanka Trump a very vulgar name, Samantha Bee apologizes and says,
I'm really sorry that I said that word, but you know what? Civility is just nice words. Maybe we should all worry a little bit more about the niceness of our actions.
The show's Full Frontal with Samantha Bee on TBS. An airport in Houston evacuated this morning over what turned out to be a fake hand grenade in somebody's bag. Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
Watch today's show live right now on the Income Store live video stream at 560theanswer.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, House Speaker Paul Ryan's response to questions about Spygate has gotten a lot of press attention over the last 24 hours because the D.C. press narrative is this summed up nicely in this Politico headline. Ryan undercuts Trump on Russia at fraught moment. Ooh. Did Paul Ryan really undercut the president? The questions that have been raised about the FBI informant that was embedded in the Trump campaign, did he undercut him, or did he just respond to a question about that informant based on what he believes to be true at this point,
Yeah,
pending another intelligence briefing that he is going to be part of next week. Here's Paul Ryan.
Normally, I don't like to comment on classified briefings. Let me say it this way. I think Chairman Gowdy's initial assessment is accurate. I think, but we have some more digging to do. We're waiting for some more document requests. We have some more documents to review. We still have someone answer questions, but I have seen no evidence to the contrary of the initial assessment that Chairman Gowdy has made. But I want to make sure that we run every lead down and make sure we get final answers to these questions.
Yeah, and the Department of Justice has agreed to release more documents for lawmakers to see and form an opinion.
There's a gang of 8 briefing scheduled for early next week.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, does Trump have egg on his face? Is this bad for President Trump? I mean, everybody said, no, there's no Russian spy. The FBI was vigilant and they were responsible and they did what they needed to do by putting this person in there to make sure they weren't messing with the election.
Well, everyone's not saying that. Some people are saying that. And Trey Gowdy essentially said last week, at this point, the American people would be proud of what the FBI has done. The FBI did what they should have done. But that's not a unanimous opinion. There's some Republicans who are echoing that. Paul Ryan just did. Richard Burr on the Senate side did. But Devin Nunes, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, did not. And, Paul Ryan may,
Trey
share the position.
Trey Gowdy and Paul Ryan are on their way out. I don't know if that means anything or if that plays into anything.
Richard Burr is not.
Okay.
So the issue is access to information. Some have, others don't have. But I thought Paul Ryan's statement is still measured, particularly when you consider how it's being reported with froth in the mouth of Anderson Cooper yesterday when he was talking about this, for example. And you have another briefing scheduled. And the point of the whole Spygate investigation and the documents requests and the questions that are being answered is to get questions answered. It's to understand exactly what Mr. Halper was doing, not doing, to whom he was reporting, what he was reporting. So, Trump's imprecise tweets aside, there are legitimate questions about, there are legitimate questions like I just asked that are being asked, and they demand answers from the FBI. And I don't think the FBI deserves the benefit of the doubt on this stuff at this stage, not the FBI as it existed under Jim Comey. And that's the point. So they can hoop and holler all they want about Paul Ryan's statement or Trey Gowdy's last week. That doesn't eliminate the need for those questions to be answered and for those in positions of authority to convey those answers for public consumption. Speaking of which, Jim Comey's FBI, there's also a report out yesterday that the Inspector General, the DOJ Inspector General's report on Comey and Lynch is going to be critical. One source told ABC News the draft report explicitly used the word insubordinate to describe Comey's behavior. In the draft report, Inspector General Michael Horowitz also rebuked former Attorney General Loretta Lynch for her handling of the federal investigation into Hillary Clinton's personal email server. So,
did you mention anything about her talk with Bill Clinton on the private jet?
Well, this is the kind of the inside dope on what the report is going to say. It hasn't been released yet. But so if Comey, the FBI director, and the Attorney General of the United States, if they don't get a clean bill of health from the Department of Justice Inspector General in the context of everything we're talking about, what the FBI and DOJ was doing vis-a-vis the Trump campaign in 2016, now do you think there's some legitimacy to the questions that are being asked and the answers that are being requested? I think so. The whole kind of it's nothing or it's the end of the world. How about instead of drawing conclusions based on information we don't have, we ask the right questions and we wait for the answers. And the demagoguery, to some extent on both sides, notwithstanding, just keep asking the same questions. Because until somebody can answer those questions for me, then I'm not persuaded of anything. And against or the backdrop or with the context of these reports that are coming out by the watchdog? How McCabe acted. A referral for a possible criminal prosecution of the deputy director of the FBI, Comey's number 2 man. That's what Horowitz did, the inspector general. Now we have this, the contents of his forthcoming report on Comey being telegraphed.
It's great because it vindicates President Trump's, official reasoning for firing him. So, I mean, he looks like
insubordinate.
Right, insubordination. That's a reason to fire somebody.
No question about it.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment.
Pete in Montgomery, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. So yesterday I only heard once a news blurb that Andrew McCabe offered to testify before Congress with being granted immunity. So does this indicate that there's that the FBI investigation of Trump and the Hillary email debacle, House of Cards, is about to collapse?
Well, thanks for the call, Pete.
It's leaked information in a yet-to-be-released report.
Right. I mean,
so
you want to withhold judgment. I mean, it's one thing to say, here's a couple of nuggets from the report or the draft report.
But you didn't see this on CNN this morning or last night about James Comey?
No, they were.
I didn't see anything about the cake maker for hours. They didn't even talk about it. They pretended as if it didn't exist because it didn't fit in with their narrative.
Right. I mean, it's
That's
all
made me
they're
so upset.
They're in full, high dudgeon over Paul Ryan's statement. They didn't have time to focus on anything else or the mind share. Speaking of, by the way, forthrightness and honesty, since this is sort of the argument against the Trump administration, fake news.
Everybody's throwing that around.
Another report that came out yesterday that's relevant. The Senate Permanent Subcommittee on Investigations, led by Ohio Senator Rob Portman, released a majority report reviewing the Obama administration's communications and financial maneuverings with Iranian officials at the time of the Iran nuclear deal, which, of course, President Trump withdrew from to the hysterics of the left. The report, this is the Weekly Standard coverage, reveals in fuller detail the duplicitous ways in which the Obama administration sold the agreement. As part of the plan, according to the testimony of several Obama-era officials, including Treasury Secretary Jack Lew, Iran was to be denied access to the U.S. dollar and U.S. banking system. The administration's message was clear both before and after the deal signing. Iran would not be given access to the U.S. financial system, yet the administration circumvented its own stated policy. When Obama-era officials were questioned by lawmakers about whether Iran would have access to the U.S. banking system, those administrations failed to disclose that, in fact, they had already facilitated Iran's access to the U.S. banking system. They issued a license permitting Iran to convert $5.7 billion held in Oman from Omani rials to U.S. dollars and then into euros. That would have directly violated the sanctions law then in place, as well as the terms of the Iran nuclear deal. Obama officials asked U.S. banks to break the law, and the banks said no. That's the only reason the transaction didn't take place. Obama administration officials asked the U.S. banks to break the law, sanctions against Iran, the terms of their own deal with Iran, and the banks said no. That's why the transaction didn't happen. And they lied to Congress about it.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And yet here's the main echo chamber creator, Ben Rhodes, on with Andrea Mitchell yesterday, talking about his real concerns about the Trump administration and Russian collusion and ahead of the 2020 election. And the concern he has is the government's inability to edit Facebook. They couldn't edit Facebook in 2016. That was a problem. Now that's a concern for him that they can't do it, that the government can't come in and edit Facebook. So Facebook will do it for themselves, including, by the way, launching new news products, which was out yesterday. But listen to Ben Rhodes, the communications guy behind the Iran deal, who is facilitating all of this lying to Congress and to the American people.
Part of what I look back on and wonder about is when there was a statement of warning, it was about the hacking and releasing of emails. It didn't really address the fake news, the fact that people's social media feeds are being polluted by this Russian-created content favoring Donald Trump. And I think what he would argue, with President Obama, we'd say to him this question, do you need to go out and say this yourself? He would say, look, I get asked about this when I'm in the briefing room. We've warned them. I amplify those warnings when I'm asked about it, but I'm not a messenger that people who are consuming that stuff will listen to. And Trump will say it's rigged. And frankly, the government also didn't have a lot of capacity to deal with this. We can't edit people's Facebook feeds and say that's fake news and that's not. And what worries me today, Andrea, is that we still don't have a lot of capacity, and frankly, our government's probably not doing anything to prevent this. And so the likelihood that the Russians are going to do this again in the midterm elections and the next presidential election is very high.
I mean, President Obama should never have used access to our financial system as a bargaining chip.
Well, he said he didn't.
Well, there's proof that proves
and then he
otherwise,
did.
and then he did.
Kevin in Libertyville.
Good morning, guys. Hey, it might be time for us to I'll put on our tinfoil hats, but it's weird. Every day I wake up and I read all about this, and I'm stunned, literally stunned that there are not people in jail. But do you remember a few weeks back, John Brennan said, hey, you Republicans, you better get your act together, get Trump in line, or there's going to be consequences. And then, I don't know if you've noticed it, but I have. All of a sudden, in the last week or so, the Marco Rubio and Trey Gowdy and a few others have just gone radio silent. Devin Nunes is completely gone, and everyone's backing away. And you just wonder, is that somehow connected? And you look at that and you just think, can it possibly be? And I just wondered, Dan, if you noticed that as well.
Well, thanks for the call, Kevin. I don't know. I connected to what I guess what my question would be, what is a foot, or what do you think is a foot? I see Devin Nunes. Devin Nunes was out last week responding to. He was on one of the Fox shows responding to the comments Trey Gowdy made. So he's around, and he's going to be part of the Gang of Eight briefing that happens next week. More questions and hopefully get answered, more documents produced to support those answers per Paul Ryan's statements yesterday. So, I don't know. I mean, there can be, honest disagreements about what information means. And remember, also, the information flow is uneven. Not everybody commenting had access to the same level of classified information. So I'd probably restrain myself from suggesting anything's afoot other than John Brennan's demagoguery and, the same from the rest of the Obama era apparatchiks. Bob and Waukegan, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, the fact that Andrew McCabe has to ask for immunity tells you probably everything you need to know about what's going on. If a senior law enforcement official from our government has to ask for immunity to tell the truth, we're in serious trouble. They look for Trump-Russia collusion under every rock for 2 years. They haven't found a thing. The entire damn countryside of America is burning up because of the FBI and the CIA and the Obama administration's misuse of government departments. And the Democrats are just fine with our country. This is insane. They ought to lock every one of those damn people up and sort it out in the Congress and the Senate. And lock McCabe, Comey, Rosenstein, lock them all up, get the documents, find out who's guilty, and send them to jail.
Thanks for the call, Bob.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Oh, hi. This is on. Forecast for today, partly sunny with a shower or thunderstorm in spots this afternoon, a high of 79 degrees, but it will be cooler near the lake. Tonight, a shower or thunderstorm likely, a low of 59. And for tomorrow, Friday, you're going to have some clouds and sun, but we can't rule out a couple of showers and a possible thunderstorm, a high of 77 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Amy, thanks. In Carpentersville, northbound Randall Road is closed. Miller to Huntley due to a crash. Inbound Edens, you've got a 2-minute delay. Devon to the junction. Kennedy inbound, now 28 minutes. So O'Hare to downtown. A little quicker than the express. Outbound 23 minutes, downtown to O'Hare. On Eisenhower delay start around Wolf Road, 48 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 31. Inbound Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36. Inbound Ryan, 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 16 minutes, I-80 to the Merge Vision, 428. Northbound Tri-State tight approaching the Eisenhower. Adams tollway from the Tri-State to Kennedy. Other tollways are still fine. In Northwest Indiana, all clear. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Gentlemen, June is Men's Health Month. Do you know your numbers? You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know mine. I went to Low T Center. They made it quick and easy. You'll know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify your insurance for you. Low T Center physicians have been exclusively diagnosing and treating men for low testosterone for years. And in honor of Men's Health Month, Low T is offering a special testosterone and prostate level test for just $50. Take advantage of this offer, especially if you haven't met your deductible yet, or you have a high copay, or you simply don't have insurance. If you've noticed a decline in energy or motivation, you may have low testosterone. Low T makes you feel tired and grumpy, can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. So do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself to call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. That's 312-239-3427. Call 312-239-3427 or go to lowtcenter.com.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. The storm season is here. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for sudden damage and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
You've heard about the Coin Show. Now you need to make plans to go. Find out what collectors and investors have known for years. It's fun, full of history, and it can be a great investment. Make plans to attend the Greater Chicago Coin, Currency, and Collectibles Show. It's one of the largest in the nation, and it's free. The Greater Chicago Coin, Currency, and Collectibles Show is at the Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles. Today through Saturday. Admission and parking are free. Just bring your photo ID. Hundreds of dealers and displays. The best coin dealers from all over the country. See displays valued at millions of dollars. U.S. and world paper money, gold and silver bullion, and much more. Find out more about coins, currency, and collectibles. This show is a can't miss. The Greater Chicago Coin, Currency, and Collectibles Show. Today through Saturday at the Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles. Remember, admission and parking are free. Just bring your photo ID. Get more information at chicagocoinshow.com. That's chicagocoinshow.com. A good parking lot is essential to a good building and a good business.
This is Kevin Berquist. My company is SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. Great parking lots. The name says it all. We make your parking lot great. We are an industry leader in seal coating. You can trust our company to do the work for your company. We have the same traditional values as you. We use a process and application that makes sure you get a great job that lasts a long time. I guarantee you'll have a good experience. Check it out, GreatParkingLots.com.
Go to GreatParkingLots.com. Schedule a free inspection and get a quote to make your parking lot a great parking lot. Special early season discounts if you act now. Save the expense. Fix, don't replace. Contact SKC Construction now for commercial parking lot seal coating and maintenance. SKC Construction, home of GreatParkingLots.com. GreatParkingLots.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're talking about the DOJ IG report coming out on Comey and some other matters. Quickly, Chuck in the car. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, hi, Dan and Amy. The report's coming out. And Paul Ryan, I think I heard him say that he said the FBI can investigate the president, which is fine. They can investigate Hillary Clinton, too. How did that work out? It didn't work out too well. They couldn't even get the laptops from Wiseman Schultz, for some reason. I don't know why they couldn't do that, but it's a deep state, evidently. And, it just goes on and on. I mean, you parse words, the factions of the Republicans and all the Democrats, any little thing that happens, they use that against the president. But they don't go look into the whole story. That's just my thought.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Chuck. That's why I just continue to say, let's just keep asking the right questions, demanding answers to the right questions, and that's a way to stay focused amid all of the hot air from both sides. Switching gears, we exported a Chicago Democrat to the White House, and that didn't work out too well. Now we've exported a Chicago three-point specialist to Golden State, and he's really annoying.
You don't like Steve Kerr?
He's really starting to get annoying because he's becoming one of these virtue signaling, virtue signaling people in athletics who, as we were talking with Steve Ashburner earlier this week, NBA.com, like, I'm not doing something important really in the grand scheme of things. So now I'm going to wade into areas I don't really know what I'm talking about because I need to feel important. I need to be part of, the important, enlightened intelligentsia. And that's sort of what Steve Kerr is doing. Steve Kerr on the whole Philadelphia Eagles flap, which is relevant to Steve Kerr. Why?
Steve, there was that line famously attributed to Michael Jordan about Republicans buy shoes too. Like, how did you think it evolved to this point where guys are more willing to be outspoken?
I just think the world changed. I think in the 90s we were living in sort of a blissfully ignorant state. I think there, it was sort of pre-terrorism, pre-9/11, pre-social media. I think life was a lot simpler, and I think athletes recognize, and people in general recognize, that it's a much different time, and there's a lot of angst and a lot of things to be concerned about, and things that need to be changed, whether it's violence, school shootings, police brutality. There's so many issues that stand out and that are critical, and I think people in general, not just athletes, feel the need to do something, and we now have the forum to do so. we have a much bigger platform to try to do good, and so I'm proud of all the people who do that.
Oh gosh, here we go. Athletes trying to do good in the policy realm. Kerr went on to say, sports are always a uniter. It's one of the beautiful parts of sports. You see what the Eagles did for the city of Philadelphia.
Name assassinator.
Man.
City assassinator.
And how happy everybody was. Sports brings people together. It just so happens now that we have an interesting time politically. We have a lot of athletes who aren't afraid to speak out, but no, sports have always been a great way to unite family, friends, communities, and everything else. Is that what the Eagles did? Everybody's happy together?
Now the new news this morning, you're rubbing off on me, is that one Philadelphia Eagle football player was going to go to the White House. That's why they canceled it. Yeah.
And I like I think
they should have celebrated that one.
I think what our friend Tim from Woodstock said yesterday in a caller, Trump should have embraced the one, taken him to play golf, and had a grand old day, and just kind of put it right back on him.
It would have been perfect.
That would have been fun.
Coming up
Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. These people have to learn, keep their mouths shut and dribble the basketball. It's time to boycott the NBA like the NFL. I mean, they're not getting paid for that. I don't want to hear their opinion, and it's going to cost them financially. If conservatives can be boycotted, so can liberals.
Yeah.
And like I texted you about the Eagles a couple days ago. Who cares about the Eagles in the White House? Don Felder left the group, and Glenn Fry died.
Zing.
No one cares.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Bump. I like it. I like when Steve Kerr or LeBron or Kevin Durant, they want to spout off. I like it.
They've already formed a solidarity. Steve Kerr and LeBron have already agreed that no matter who wins this playoff, which obviously the Warriors are going to win because they're up 3 games to 0 to nothing, that neither team is going to go to the White House. Well, guess what? The invite hasn't even gone out, and it's not going to go out now.
If the net result of this, we stop with the pro forma ceremonies to celebrate championship teams at the White House and bring them into the realm of politics, then all the better. But I always like when people hold forth with what they really think and convey to you who they really are. It's clarifying. We should embrace it.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, President Trump may blow off the G7 summit to prepare for his meeting with Kim Jong-un.
And at 6:36, NRO's Jonah Goldberg joins us to discuss his new book, Suicide of the West.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Clouds and 64 degrees. A U.S. medical team this morning is screening more Americans who work in a southern Chinese city. As the State Department confirms, they've evacuated a number of government workers who experienced unexplained, unpleasant health issues like those that have hurt U.S. personnel in Cuba and elsewhere in China. Before President Donald Trump sits down with a third-generation North Korean autocrat, he may very well face what could turn out to be a tougher crowd, some of America's oldest allies. With his new tariffs increasing U.S. Isolation, Trump heads to Canada and will meet with the Group of 7 on that and other issues. White House is expecting a chilly reception from some in West Europe, already frustrated with the president's withdrawal from the Paris Climate Accord and the Iran nuclear agreement. The death toll is climbing from the violent volcanic eruption in Guatemala. The Fuego volcano has claimed now 99 lives. 200 are missing. House leaders want to push the fractured Republican majority toward consensus on an immigration bill, and they're racing the clock right now as they seek to defuse a GOP battle that may wound their hopes of keeping control of that chamber in November's elections. Republicans have closed-door meetings today on the topic of immigration, but there are no indications that there is a deal ending the party's internal struggle over wording of any immigration bill. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan's right-hand man at the State House is out of a job after another Me Too complaint. Speaker yesterday saying his chief of staff, Tim Mapes, resigned at his direction. Chicago Teachers Union President Karen Lewis is back in the hospital after undergoing brain surgery. Yesterday's procedure is part of an ongoing treatment after a 2014 brain cancer diagnosis. Chicago sports, Jason Hayward, a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. Cubs knock off the Phillies 7-5. Tim Anderson drove in 3 as the White Sox down the Twins at Target Field 5-2. The news, a service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's business credit account. 5% on all purchases in-store or online, subject to credit approval, U.S. only. 6:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager gives you the truth when the mainstream media won't.
With its decision to ban kneeling during the national anthem, critics are accusing the NFL of prioritizing being in the good financial graces of mainstream America over the social justice passions of its players. This is mainstream media. This is a lie. What matters to us is honoring what is deserving of honor.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Pursue your passion with a degree from Aurora University Online. Choose fully online programs in business, computer science, and more. To learn more, visit online.aurora.edu.
You've heard of living trusts and how they can help protect your assets, but you may not know if a living trust is right for you, or maybe you have questions about creating your own living trust. The fact is, almost everyone can benefit from a living trust, which can protect your assets from the court system and your loved ones from unnecessary expense and inconvenience. Learn more at a free seminar Thursday, June 14th at Papa Joe's Restaurant in Orland Park. Estate planning attorney Robert Zapolis will explain how to create your own living trust, estate planning under the new tax laws, why a will does not avoid probate, and more. Have your estate planning and living trust questions answered absolutely free. Don't miss this important seminar, Thursday, June 14th at 6:30 p.m. at Papa Joe's Restaurant, 145th and LaGrange Road in Orland Park. The seminar is free and a complimentary dinner is served, but you must make a reservation now. Call 708-478-1400. Call 708-478-1400. Again, 708-478-1400.
It is 6:36. Get your travel times in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound 25 minutes. Lake Hook Junction outbound 20. Kennedy now 38 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 19 from Montrose. 15 in the Express. Outbound 14 minutes to Montrose and 30 to the airport on Eisenhower. They start at Manheim. 53 minutes. 390 to downtown. 40 from Manheim. Outbound 33 minutes to 390. Stevenson 50 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 36. Ryan, 36 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishopford, 30, 80-94 to the Merge. Northbound Tri-State slow from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Hawthorne Woods, Old McHenry Road is blocked. From Quentin, Edmond Lothian, there's a stalled train. Carpentersville, north of the Adams Tollway. Randall Road is blocked northbound. Miller due to a crash. Traffic service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, a 3-pack of Peak microfiber cloths are just $1.99. Plus, with each purchase, Napa will make a donation to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. That's Napa know-how while supplies last. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, partly sunny. A shower or thunderstorm in spots throughout the day, especially this afternoon. Will heat up to a high near 79. 65 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Well, much anticipated new book from Jonah Goldberg, National Review. We've talked to him a number of times over the last several months, and he was working on it. We were waiting patiently for it. And finally, it is here, Amy.
So long.
Yeah, that's right. Finally, it's here. You know, he likes to do that. He likes to
tease people.
Exactly. Make you want it more. Yeah. His new book is Suicide of the West, How the Rebirth of Tribalism, Populism, Nationalism, and Identity Politics is Destroying American Democracy. Jonah Goldberg from National Review joins us now. Jonah, thanks for being with us again. Appreciate it.
It's great to be here. And look, I thought we all understood that in this day and age, it's all about the tease. It's all about,
Yes.
Tune in this time next week to see what happens. Who gets kicked off, Trump Island or whatever. And that's how life works.
That's
now.
how President Trump lured in Kim Jong-un. He broke up with him before he could break up with him, and now they're making amends.
There you go.
Yeah, and eventually he's going to give a flower to Kim. So.
You're such a showman, Jonah.
What to wear.
So, Suicide of the West, how the rebirth of tribalism, populism, nationalism, and identity politics, it's a lot of isms plus identity politics, destroying American democracy. Pick an ism or identity politics and offer your thesis.
Sure. If you wanted to make it an ism, you can call it identitarianism, but I don't want to use that word. But that is the right word for it. So take identity politics, right? One of the most part of the argument of my book is that democracy, free speech, human rights, natural rights, property rights, the market, all of these things are essentially unnatural in the sense that for 250,000 years, human beings did not organize their lives around any of these institutions or concepts, and they did not appear until remarkably recently in the evolutionary record. And so one of the things I try to do in the book is point out how precious and brief this miracle we have of prosperity really is. For 250,000 years, the average human being everywhere in the world lived on $3 a day or less. And then once and only once in all of human history did that start to change. It started to change in England because of liberal democratic capitalism, the Enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. I call it the miracle. Radically transformed the way we thought about ourselves and the kind of civilization we wanted to live in. So take identity politics. One of the most amazing things the Founding Fathers did was get rid of titles of nobility. Throughout human history, all around the world for the last 10,000 years, in every city-state, sort of civilization, there was this notion that some people were just born better or more deserving than other people. And the Founding Fathers got rid of that. They junked it. Now, we still had slavery. We can talk about slavery in a second, and that was a terrible evil and hypocrisy. But this idea that we should all be recognized on merit was planted in American soil, and it's taking time to grow. The thing about identity politics is it's a very reactionary, sort of ancient way of looking at the world, which says I can reduce an entire person's life to a single abstract category, be it race, a sexual preference, whatever. That sort of thinking isn't modern. It isn't woke. It's ancient. It is the way we used to categorize people from serfs and peasants to, this tribe versus my tribe for tens of thousands of years, and it's making a comeback with a lot of fancy jargon around it. And we now live in this age where I can reduce all black people to a single historical grievance. I can reduce, if I say I can say that I know all I need to know about somebody because of the color of their skin. That's what identity politics does, and it needs to be rejected.
I just want to pick up on this. I mean, I definitely agree with all that, but I want to pick up on this idea of the miracle, as you call it. I read an excerpt from your book that you posted on National Review. You say, I say miracle, you write, I say miracle because it evokes a glorious but inexplicable mystery, not because it was bequeathed by the Almighty. And you start the piece, too, talking about, you're taking God out of the argument. And you just referenced the founders, and I wonder if you're concerned at all that you're promoting sort of self-deification, because the one thing the Declaration of Independence and the Bible we're both clear on is we can't deify ourselves.
Oh, look, it's a huge part of my argument that's exactly what we're doing, and it's a terrible thing. I put it under the label romanticism, which puts feelings and an internal authenticity as the highest standards of things. We teach kids today, Hollywood teaches everybody today, go with your guts, go with your feelings. The only person you have to worry about is being true to yourself. I think that's a terrible trend in our culture. I'm not an atheist. I'm not saying that God doesn't exist. And at the end of the book, God basically sneaks back in, because I think one of the reasons we're in the mess we're in is we've lost this conception of being God-fearing, of worrying that even when I'm alone or even when no one else is watching, God is watching me. That's one of the things that made the miracle possible. The reason I say the reason the first sentence of the book is there is no God in this book is simply to say that I'm not making an appeal to authority. I'm trying to persuade people who disagree with me. And if I say to a bunch of progressives, hey, we got the miracle, we got all this stuff because God gave it to us, that doesn't work on them. That certainly doesn't work on an atheist. An appeal to authority is a logical fallacy unless everybody agrees beforehand on the authority. And so what I'm trying to do is work with progressives' own terms and say you claim to care about poverty, you claim to care about bigotry, you claim to care about public health, all of these things. Well, liberal democratic capitalism is the only thing in human history that is proven to fix those things, to improve those things, and we should have some gratitude for it. And the reason why I say there's no God in this book is we can't just simply say, let Jesus take the wheel. There is no right side of history here. As Ronald Reagan used to say, we're always just one generation away from tyranny because we do not inherent freedom in our blood. You have to fight for it, and you have to teach it to every generation. And so the no God in this book thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, go on.
No, but you wrote too, before the miracle, human life was nasty, brutish, and short.
Yeah, the average, people like to ask, why is there poverty? We know why there's poverty. Poverty is the natural human condition. As a species and as individuals, we're all born, naked, penniless, and ignorant. The only interesting question is, why is there wealth? And there's only one answer in all of human history, and it's this bizarre miracle that we stumbled into that has caused human prosperity to skyrocket around the world in the span of 6 lifetimes, while it stayed basically flat and near zero for 7,500 lifetimes.
Right, and not to prompt you to do another Carrie Underwood reference, but just to go back to this for a second, I understand what you're trying to do with the jujitsu of using the progressives' own stated positions against them, kind of working their logic against them. But is it possible to be persuasive if there's no appeal to truth? Right? I mean, if you believe that the Bible is the foundation of truth, and it's the foundation of our founding documents, and thus the foundation of our country, Judeo-Christian religious tradition, then don't you at some point have to make the case about the choice that we all have to live in a kind of live the way of nature or the way of grace, as it were? Yeah,
that's at the end of the day, it's not going to be my job to go around proselytizing people to certainly not to find Jesus, nor to become better Jews. That's not the role I'm trying to play in. I'm trying to use the logic of the Enlightenment to explain to people on the right and the left that according to the bedrock, the things that everyone says public discourse is supposed to be about, which is science and facts and reason and argument and persuasion, that there is no way to look at these facts, even if you don't have, even for an atheist, there's no way to look at these facts and not say that this stuff is the only game in town. This is what pulled us out of the muck. Mm-hmm. Now, one of the reasons why we may be heading back into the muck, and I'm perfectly willing to concede this, is that we've lost as a civilization the binding glue that religion provides and the sense of self-denial and delayed gratification that comes with being religiously informed. I'm a big fan of religion. I'm a big fan of Christianity. I like Catholicism so much I married one. I'm not trying to denigrate religion. What I am trying to do is just sort of bring people a little closer to where the facts are, regardless of appeals to religion.
Okay. I just wanted to get clarity on that. One other thing you referenced to is John Rawls, who's sort of the celebrated theorist of the left, is maybe the godfather of social justice, as it's kind of, maybe it's been bastardized in terms of what he was thinking, but I think there's references to him in terms of what people are actually doing in the modern context. And I wonder if what you're trying to do by evoking Rawls is take his original position, and that's another jujitsu play against the left. If you want to conceive, or if you want to kind of start from Rawls's original position argument, then now look at what you have done, the society you've created from this sort of foundational philosophy where you started.
Yeah, I mean, let me just sort of push back on one thing. Look, I've paid my dues in doing lots of, liberal tears are delicious kind of argumentation, and that's not what I'm trying to do in this book. You said a couple of times now, jujitsu against the left and all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to beat up the left here. I'm actually trying to model behavior that I think is really lacking on the right these days, and actually try to persuade people who disagree with me in good faith. And I make all sorts of concessions to the left. I don't write anything I don't believe to be true in the book, but I make all sorts of concessions to the left in an effort of good faith to sort of try and persuade people, which is one of the reasons why I find some of the left-wing reviews of this book, their hostility and bad faith, really kind of astounding. On the question about Rawls, yeah, that's part of the argument. I mean, part of the argument is if you were a visitor from outer space and you looked at the way human beings behaved, and you had to go live amongst us, you would be a fool if you didn't pick sometime in the last 50 years. The Rawls argument, as you clearly know, is that imagine you were in some limbo where all you knew is you were going to be born in some place and some time on Earth, but you didn't know if you were going to be poor, rich, black or white, gay or straight, or any of those kinds of things. What time on Earth would you pick and what place? And you would pick somewhere in Western Europe or the United States basically in the last 20 years because you're just playing the odds about who you're going to be. Now, my problem, just for the sake, I mean, it's a little unrelated, but my problem with Rawls, or one of my problems with Rawls, is that his argument completely falls apart, or his moral authority completely falls apart on the issue of abortion. Because, the one thing, if you were in that limbo, trying to figure out where you were going to be born, the one thing that you would want to guarantee before anything else was that you'd be born at all.
Yes, exactly. So just on the book, though, since clarify that for me. So one of the things you're doing then is you're just taking people as at face value. You're not sort of assessing motives. You're just assessing positions and saying, well, if this is what you want, then look at the tracks that can be pursued to get there, and which seems to be more fruitful.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are times when I talk about motives because a big chunk of the book has to do with, evolutionary science and human nature and why we do what we do. But it's not a sort of partisan left-right kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, part of my problem is with the tribalism, and on the right, and I don't like populism and all that stuff either. But at the core, look, Hannah Arendt used to say that every generation, Western civilization is invaded by barbarians. We call them children. And anybody who's had kids knows that kids come with a bunch of preloaded software, right? They have a bunch of instincts and responses. There's a wonderful book by a guy named Paul Bloom called Just Babies, just summarizing all of the research that they do on the preloaded moral software that babies have. Babies cry in distinct national accents. There's all this fascinating stuff. And my point is that we come into we are born not into the United States or Western civilization. We're born into families. And the barbarians that are born into our families, they need software updates. And you hear people say all the time, oh, you have to be taught to hate. That's just factually untrue. You have to teach people you have to teach people not to hate. We all come wired with a deep distrust of strangers because that's how we evolved, or that's how the evolutionary science says we evolved. Because if you didn't, strangers were the enemy. The tribe was everything. The tribe was us, was my family, my politics, my religion, my entertainment, my faith, was everything. And everything outside of the tribe was to be distrusted. The beautiful thing about the market is that it lowers the barrier to interaction with strangers. In a state of nature, if you're carrying a bushel of apples and I want your apples, I hit you over the head with a rock and take your apples. In a market, I give you money. You like money. I like apples. It's win-win.
No, I think that's really well said. It's very interesting. The part about where you're talking about kind of the concerns about the right. You mentioned nationalism. Nationalism is a part of the isms that are in the title of the book, and I wonder what exactly you mean. Kind of the current incarnation of nationalism that troubles you. This is sort of jingoism, or what you're referencing specifically?
Yeah, so this is an argument I have. It's a good faith argument with several of my colleagues, including Rich Lowry, the editor of National Review, who's not only a handsome man, but he's a powerful man. But my view about nationalism is look, all poisons, all of them, are measured in the dose, right? And so a little nationalism, I think, is healthy. It's sort of like salt, right? A pinch of salt brings out the flavor in the meal, brings all the dishes, all the ingredients together. A little too much salt can ruin the meal. Way too much salt can literally kill you. And so my problem with nationalism is partly just the problem of degree. I prefer the language of patriotism to the language of nationalism. Nationalism invariably lends itself to a lot of us versus them thinking. It lends itself often, though not necessarily, but often to a kind of ethno-nationalism, which I think is contrary to what this country was always about. But my ultimate problem with, sorry, my dogs are going nuts up there. My ultimate problem with nationalism is that invariably, if you think that our politics has to be about the expression of nationalist sentiment, that is almost always going to mean centralization and empowering the government in Washington, because the government in Washington is the only institution in the entire country that has any claim to speak for the whole country. And so nationalism historically is deeply, deeply, Marxists want to tell you that it's that nationalism and socialism are opposites. But historically, in every country that goes hardcore nationalist, it becomes hardcore socialist. Every country that becomes hardcore socialist becomes hardcore nationalist, because the two words in economics and in politics are essentially interchangeable.
Yeah, and that references another great book you wrote, Liberal Fascism. He is Jonah Goldberg. He's joining us with his K9 studio audience. National Review columnist, author of the book Suicide of the West, How the Rebirth of Tribalism, Populism, Nationalism, and Identity Politics is Destroying America. Suicide of the West. Pick it up. Jonah, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
It was a real pleasure. Thank you.
And he joined us on our Turnkey Depot answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Johnson & Johnson putting its money where its mouth is. A decision expected today on efforts to save a coal-fired plant in Arizona. Those stories next.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
It's probably been about 10 years ago. I had quite a few credit cards. The interest on the cards was really high. I was making the minimum payments, but barely. And it was just getting to be too much, so I called Trinity.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976 to talk to a certified counselor.
They met with me, and they were able to get all of my credit cards in one lower payment.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, put a stop to late fees and over-limit charges, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
They did help me learn how to manage my money. Now, we have a house, and we're doing a lot better.
If your debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Holly, and I am debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
In Arizona tonight, a local water conservation board will decide whether to go ahead with a planned shutdown of a coal-fired energy plant. Yesterday, more than 300 Navajo tribal leaders and union members pleaded to keep the coal plant open. President Trump has championed coal-based energy use since taking office last year. Healthcare and consumer products giant Johnson & Johnson, maker of Band-Aids and
brave men and women. Join us. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
House Republicans are trying to work out their differences on immigration. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. They're all meeting behind closed doors in about an hour to talk about it. Here's more from Fox's Rachel Sutherland in D.C.
Chris, GOP lawmakers will hold the high-stakes meetings in hopes of warding off an election year showdown on immigration. Congressman Mark Meadows spoke to reporters last night.
I think there is great progress that's being made. I want to compliment all my colleagues who may have a different view on immigration.
A group of Democrats and moderates pressing for a so-called discharge petition, which would allow them to bypass House leadership and force a series of votes on immigration proposals. A major hang-up, how to deal with young immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as children. Chris?
Rachel, people on federal housing assistance may have to start paying more for rent. Fox's Tanya J. Powers is live in New York.
Chris, Housing Secretary Ben Carson calls his rent-raising proposal a pathway to self-sufficiency. An analysis by the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities provided to the Associated Press finds that if approved, rent for low-income tenants in the nation's 100 largest metropolitan areas would go up by about 20% a year. It also says more than 8 million people would be affected by this proposal. 3 million of those are kids. Carson's proposal still needs congressional approval. Chris?
Tanya, thanks. Alice Marie Johnson is back with her family after nearly 22 years in an Alabama prison. Her life sentence for drug offenses was commuted by President Trump.
I'm feeling no handcuffs, nothing on me. I'm free to hug my family. I'm free to live life. I'm free to start over.
The reality TV star Kim Kardashian West met with the president last week to plead Johnson's case. She learned about it from a news report. Convicted and sentenced to life in prison, a man who drove a stolen truck into a crowd in Stockholm, Sweden last year. 5 people died. Rakhmat Akalov is from Uzbekistan. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Partly sunny skies, 64 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer, good morning. I'm Mike Scott. One man is dead following a police shooting on Chicago's South Side. Authorities say officers were conducting a narcotics investigation last night in the 300 block of East 47th. They began chasing a man who ran from them. An armed confrontation ensued, and officers shot that man. A gun was recovered. A police sergeant was also injured while hopping a fence. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan's right-hand man at the State House is out of a job after another Me Too complaint. Speaker yesterday saying his chief of staff, Tim Mapes, resigned at his direction, and it came just hours after another Madigan State House staffer told reporters about a number of inappropriate and sexual comments that she says Mapes made over the years. Chicago Public Schools Chief Inspector General wants his office to take over investigations into allegations of sexual abuse by students of CPS staff. AM 560's David Stewart has more.
The Inspector General, Nicholas Schuler, says he wants to end a potential conflict of interest because now the CPS legal department handles both the questioning of complaining students and then defends the school system against any lawsuits the students may file. Mayor Emanuel is promising quick remediation. Governor Rauner says an independent inquiry is warranted.
This deserves an independent investigation, and we have to take strong action to keep our students and our staff safe.
The Chicago Tribune has outlined numerous cases over the years where CPS failed to act quickly on sexual abuse complaints. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
An elderly Elgin woman is making changes in order to keep an Impeach President Trump sign in her yard. City asked Myra Becker to take down the sign because it was too big. Daily Herald now says the 94-year-old, who was originally planning to fight the city request, instead has cut the size of the sign down to one that meets city regulations. Cubs knock off the Phillies 7-5. White Sox down the Twins 5-2. The news service of Napa this month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Avalanche AC recharge kits are on sale for just $39.99, plus a $15 prepaid Visa card by mail. Quality parts, helpful people, that's Napa know-how. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
What if you could enjoy total peace of mind when it comes to home security? What if the best technology came from a local company who puts the customer's needs first? Alarm Detection Systems is the right choice for an alarm system with complete control from your phone or tablet. Know when your children arrive home from school. View live streaming video. Check up on your pets. Receive alerts for extreme temperatures. Know if leaks or floods have been detected. Get real-time text alerts sent to your phone. Family-owned and operated since 1968, Alarm Detection Systems understands that nothing is more important than the safety of your family. Your security system will be monitored by our central station in Aurora, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Our on-site security consultation is always free. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6322. That's 630-844-6322. Alarm license number 127000143.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
It is 7:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. 8094 eastbound traffic is slow. State line to Calumet Avenue with a crash in the left lane. Inbound Eden's delays start around Peterson. 26 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 23. Kennedy, heavy Canfield to the Burn Circle. 55 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 30 from Montrose. 32 on the Express. Outbound 14 minutes to Montrose. 32 to the airport. Got Eisenhower after crash at Independence. It's an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown. 50 minutes from Manheim, outbound 37 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 56 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38. The Ryan, 36 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 19 minutes, I-80 to the Merge, Bishop Ford 30. Northbound Tri-State delays from Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Reagan Tollway tight York to the Tri-State. Northbound Veterans Memorial, slow Findlay to Roosevelt. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center with our meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, partly sunny, a shower or thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon, high 79. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a shower or thunderstorm in the area, low 59. Couple of showers and a thunderstorm tomorrow, high 77. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently, we have partly sunny skies in Chicago. Temperatures at 65 at O'Hare and 62 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top of the morning, Dan and Amy. We've got a lot of things to talk about with our colleague Mike Gallagher. The leaked characterization of the forthcoming DOJ IG report on Comey and Lynch, what Paul Ryan had to say about Spygate. So many things. The details of Obama administration lying about the Iran deal. Important geopolitical things that negatively or positively impact the future of Western civilization, Amy.
Yes.
But that's not what I want to talk about, Mike Gallagher.
What do you want to talk about? The pardoning of Alice Johnson?
At the Tony Awards, obviously.
Oh, the Tony
Awards.
Awards.
We're talking Mr. Broadway, Mike Gallagher.
Oh, yes.
Joins us now, Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays 9 to 11 on these airwaves. Mike, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
And Dan, ever the very prescient host that you are, I'm right in the middle of a run of one of the greatest American musicals ever made, Guys and Dolls.
Sure.
I'm playing Nicely Johnson. I open tomorrow night. And theater geek that I am, some people have baseball cards or they collect stamps.
Right.
I just like theater a lot, and I live in Manhattan, and so I go to theater all the time, and it's just a big deal for me. So the crisis now is how to do a performance on Sunday and make it to the Tony Awards to watch the Tony Awards Sunday night. So while normal people are with their families and breaking bread and watching, ball games and stuff, I'm going to be geeking out in front of the hotel, TV set watching the Tony Awards. That's how shallow and petty and pathetic.
Everyone has their.
Those are
everyone
downtown
has-
problems.
Everybody has a hobby.
Well-
what's your favorite musical?
Well,
your favorite performance?
Well, just before Guys and Dolls, I mean, I see you as a big Julie.
Well, I know I'm Nicely. I'm Nicely Johnson, which is a great role because there's no costume changes. Nicely gets to sing the big 11 o'clock number, "Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat," without having the pressure of the show, like as one of the main leads. I did this role like 25 years ago, so now I guess I'm more age appropriate. I don't need a fat suit like I did when I was a kid.
It's
nice because Nicely's always.
It's just like Val Kilmer coming back to do Top Gun.
Thank you. Or for theater freaks, Yul Brynner coming back to play the King in King and I. Now I'm kind of really middle-aged and fat.
Can you give us a few bars, or is that a SAG-AFTRA violation?
Well, it's an actors equity rule that I can't sing before noon. Plus, I'm kind of tired. But no, this is Tech Week, so this is when it all. But it really, all kidding aside, it's a pretty cool opportunity. The theater is in Dallas. They have about a 35-piece orchestra. Huge sets, huge production, big cast, professional theater, lots of professional actors from New York who are actually in Dallas doing this show, and I'm pretty excited to open up tomorrow night, guys, but not quite as excited as the news that I get to visit with my top morning show, Dan and Amy, this morning.
You're a multifaceted performer, just like
honestly,
Amy.
I thought you guys were joking around.
No.
This is the real deal. So since you've played this role before, you don't really have to study your lines, or are they indelibly etched in your brain?
No, you really do. I mean, it's not quite like falling off a bike. I mean, it's been 25 years since I played this role. So, but it's not as hard as other roles I played. A couple years ago, I played Max Bialystock in a production of The Producers.
Yeah.
That's the hardest role I've ever played. Tough songs, and the Nathan Lane role that just goes on, and the Zero Mostel created it in the movie. But it's a terrific musical. But yeah, it's kind of my passion, and I haven't acted in a few years, and they called me and said, hey, you want to come to Dallas for about a month and a half and do Nicely and Guys and Dolls? And so tomorrow night's opening night, and I'm pumped. I'm ready to go.
Well, you're still going to do your radio show, right? You're going.
Oh yeah, radio show every morning, and then theater at night.
Well,
Dan,
I'm sorry, and I'd love to see you in the leg warmers and the tights too. By the way,
no, you don't. You don't want to see that. But I am glad you started to say the three words that you must say to
Break
an
a
actor.
leg.
Before. Yeah, do not say the other thing. GL is not.
No.
That's bad luck to say the first thing.
I have no musical ability or acting ability, talent really, generally speaking, but I am a patron of the theater, so I know this.
So just say break a leg.
We need to get Mike in town. Maybe maybe bring Chicago back here. You could play Billy Flynn.
Ooh, Billy Flynn's a great role. You know what I've done around the country once in a while? My dear friend, family friend, Sally Struthers and I have performed the play Love Letters by A.R. Gurney. It's a very touching, poignant play. It's a two-person play, and we've done that as a benefit for my foundation, Gallagher's Army, the Fallen Officer Fund, which helps the families of police officers killed in the line of duty. We've done that in a number of cities around the country. So maybe one of these days, Sally and I will have to come to town and do Love Letters. It'd be a lot of fun. Have you guys be our special VIP guests.
Does she ever slip and call you meathead?
No, she does, and I don't think it's slipping. I think she means it. She's quite a character. She's just as good. She's just as crazy as you think she is.
All right.
Well, I've learned so much about you this morning in the last 7 minutes.
The layers to Mike Gallagher. The layers. All right. Well, we got to talk a little political news too, and so. Paul Ryan, the D.C. press corps yesterday was in full froth over the notion that Paul Ryan undermined President Trump's assertions about Spygate. And I didn't really interpret it that way. I interpreted it as here's what I believe to be true at this point, but we still have questions to be answered. We still have a briefing next week I thought it was rather measured. What was your take?
Dan, I have the same reaction you do. There's an over-the-top disdain that a lot of people seem to have for Paul Ryan, and it's almost like there's this sort of need to make him the boogeyman. And frankly, I don't know that he is. I mean, I wish he was had been a little bit more assertive in his defense of the president and the agenda, but I don't see him as this guy who's this devious, malcontent who's trying to do harm. I know last night on Lou Dobbs' show, and Lou's a friend of mine, but Lou was like, get him the heck out of there. He needs to go. He's a joke. He's terrible, and he's a disaster and ought to quit right this minute. And there are plenty of listeners who feel that way. I think the same way. I feel the same way you do. He's a very measured guy, maybe not as charismatic or as in your face as red meat Republicans would like. But I had the same takeaway you did. What's fascinating to me is that you mentioned this IG report, and of course it was supposed to be out in May. Guys, do you remember how to connect? Remember what Trump said when Comey was first fired, and everybody was scratching their heads saying, "Wait a minute, he's fired because of the way he handled the Hillary email investigation," and everybody kind of shrugged their shoulders, and we moved on from that, and that was the Trump administration's position. Well, here we go with multiple sources reporting that this IG report from Horowitz is expected to blast Comey as having been insubordinate, and blasting Loretta Lynch, and blasting a number of these top Justice Department officials as having not done their job. Well, rewind. Remember, that's what Trump said a long time ago, and we forget that. How many times have we seen things come to fruition that have been tweeted about by this unpredictable president, this bull in a china shop, as I call him. He is often more right than wrong, but we forget it because we have such a fire hose of information and news coming at us that the cycle changes every 24 hours, veering from Samantha Bee into something else, and we forget, he was right all along. So I think it's worth noting, next week, a huge week with the North Korea summit. This is something that was unthinkable during the Obama administration. And, we'll sit back and watch the media and not give him credit where credit is due. There are extraordinary accomplishments being achieved in this first year and a half or so, and I believe more and more Americans are standing up and paying notice.
Yeah, I do think President Trump was spot on with Comey's, insubordination. It's highly concerning and pretty rare, but what about Spygate? What about the Russians or the FBI alleged spy or source that was implemented into Trump's campaign? Because Paul Ryan and Trey Gowdy seem to be on the same page that the FBI did the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this is when you talk about layers of people. There are layers of intrigue to all of this. When Ryan says that Gowdy was accurate when he said the FBI had acted appropriately, I happen to have a lot of confidence in Trey Gowdy. Again, he's been identified and sort of tarred and feathered as more recently as a swamp creature by red meat Republicans, and I get it. I get the frustration. I get the impatience. But frankly, and they are at odds with the president, who has claimed that there was a spy embedded in the campaign. But listen, this is all being unwound. It's taking longer than we hoped. It's a distraction. It's unnecessary. There are solid, important things that people care about. I don't believe. I mean, we're into it because we're in the weeds with all this stuff, guys. But I don't believe that Americans who are trying to put food on their table and pay the mortgage give a rat's rear end about Spygate or about the IG report or about Comey. They want to know what the economy is going to do and if they're going to be able to hold on to their job or maybe get a raise. They want to know if there's going to be border security. They want to know if, Kim Jong-un is going to send off missiles. Those are things that matter, and those are things that the president is attempting to address. I just hope all these distractions don't pull him into a different direction from where he ought to be.
What's your assessment of his use of his pardon power over the last couple of weeks, including yesterday, commuting the sentence of one Alice Johnson?
This seems to be a great example of a non-politician who suddenly is the leader of the free world. He doesn't do anything the way it's, and I put this in quotes, supposed to be done. This story of this most recent commutation, this lady, and the things she said about President Trump, this just has to fly in the face of of the haters when they ask her, what do you think of this president? I love this man. No one listened to us. I mean, you know, for such a so-called bigoted, racist president, here's a guy who posthumously, pardoned the Great White Hope, the black boxer. Family asked the Obama administration, please, can you please clear our loved one's record? And the Obama administration's position was pretty much, we don't pardon dead people. Well, you know, Trump knew how important this was to his family, and so you see these people of color and minorities and people who have been ignored in the past being addressed and assisted by this president. Again, wow, what a wacky thing for a bigoted, racist, hate monger like Donald Trump to do. It's pretty extraordinary. We're living in extraordinary times, Dan and Amy, and I just always wonder if we're able to appreciate the history that we're experiencing day by day.
And maybe more African Americans will look at the Republican Party now and take a second look at President Trump.
It's a great point. I mean, look at unemployment right now in the black community is the lowest it's been since they've been keeping the record books on it. Now, I'm sorry, that's not a coincidence that these economic policies have led to that. And so I think a lot of African Americans are saying, you know what, maybe this guy isn't so bad. Maybe this guy's great for America, and we're gonna go to the Republican Party, which came up with these tax cuts and this great tax law, another look.
He is Mike Gallagher. You mainly know him from Broadway productions like Guys and Dolls. He also has a radio show, The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays 9 to 11 on these airwaves right after us. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Great visiting with you. Thanks for having me, guys. Keep fighting the good fight. Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. If Roseanne gets canceled, so should Samantha Bee. Who? It's someone you've never heard of, who has a show you've never seen, who said something vile about Ivanka. Oh, okay, yeah, fire what's-her-name, too. And if Bob Iger is going to apologize to Valerie Jarrett, when is he going to apologize to President Trump? Who? For what? He's a network executive you've never heard of, whose opinion you otherwise find irrelevant, who employs on-air personalities who have said profane and ignorant things about POTUS without consequence. Okay, yeah, apologize. Empty outrage is not synonymous with standing up for yourself or putting in the fight for others. It's just an uninspired substitute for having standards. What Valerie Jarrett termed a teaching moment during one of MSNBC's signature hastily assembled bigot-baiting town halls is actually a trap for conservatives. Jarrett wants you to give in to the left's lack of principles by abandoning yours. Outrage one-upmanship is a two-player game, you see. So ask yourself, do you think we beat them by joining them? Or is the move to be who they say they are but are not, and in so doing give lie to who they say we are and are not?
You've heard us just talk about St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. It's a beautiful facility located in the Lake County region of southeast Wisconsin, near Milwaukee, and it serves young men with an outstanding education and preparation for life. Well, now that same experience is available for young women. It begins this summer with their summer camp program and next fall. Grades 7 through 12, boarding or day boarding, and again, it's going full co-ed. Recently, we visited St. John's Northwestern Military Academy. It's nestled in a beautiful 110 acres. It is just a fantastic place, and the cadets, they are well-behaved, well-mannered, and you can sleep at night knowing that they're going to help protect us later on in life. It's a place you can trust for your son or now daughter. And as a mom, I want to know that if I do choose a military boarding school, that it would encompass the values that I look for. Limited registration for their co-ed summer camp. It's 4 one-week programs. Peyton and Eli, they're going to one of the weeks. And if you want to see what they'll be doing, and if you're interested in possibly signing up your son or daughter, I urge you to go to sjnma.org, and you can see the YouTube video of what they do. They crawl through mud pits, they play paintball, they scale walls, they learn how to scuba. It's just a fantastic place. sjnma.org, or to sign up for the school application process for next year, go to that website or just call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET.
Men, are you tired of those daily blue enhancement pills that take days, weeks, or months to work, if they ever work at all? Listen up. Now you can take Red, the new natural male empowerment pill that works on demand. Even your partner will notice the difference the very first time you use it. To prove Red won't disappoint like the others, you're invited to participate in our nationwide I Take Red Partner Reaction Guarantee Trial. We're seeking participants for this nationwide trial, not only to prove it works the very first time you try it. We guarantee your partner will also notice the difference. Forget those slow-acting blue pills and join those who proudly take Red. Over 50,000 pills have already been claimed and supplies are limited. So to ensure your participation in this free nationwide trial, you must call now.
Superior Virility on Demand. You only need to take Red once to see what all the fuss is about. Call immediately to participate in our free nationwide trial. Call 800-658-0723. 800-658-0723. Be one of thousands to proudly say, I take Red. 800-658-0723.
Right now, are you sitting in your home afraid to go out in public? Afraid to be seen in a restaurant? Afraid to talk or smile knowing those dentures will fall out at any minute? I'm Dr. Howard Cooper from Excellence in Dentistry, and we can handle all your worries. We have a complete in-house denture lab, and we're here to help you smile and eat with all the confidence again. Every day I see folks like Mary, whose family didn't know where else to turn. Mary's been losing weight and wouldn't eat with her ill-fitting dentures. After talking with Mary, we realized that not only did her denture not fit well, but she hated the way it made her look. We fabricated a new denture that day, and we designed it with Mary's concerns in mind. The smile on her face when we finished conveyed the greatest feeling of all. Mary not only looked beautiful, but she was happy and couldn't wait to get downstairs and hit the restaurant. Mary is happy and her family is happy. That's what we do for our patients. We change their lives. Call us at 847-244-4000 for your free consultation. Don't hide in your house any longer. Enjoy your summer with a new smile and a new outlook on life. Again, call us at 847-244-4000. We are located in Gurnee at Washington and 21 in Saratoga Square. Excellence in Dentistry, creating excellence one smile at a time.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at the HomeLoanExpert.com. And Ryan, we know your business is getting people homes, refis, but what do you do when you're not doing that?
I guess that answer depends on if my wife is listening.
Yeah, right. There you go.
And I mean that in a way that, you know, as a business owner, I struggle. I walk a fine line between running my business and working hard for my clients to get them great mortgages and spending enough time with the family, you know. And as my wife and I have been married 10 years, we have 3 kids. And as you know, it takes a lot of time to be around the kids and do everything to be a good father and a good husband. So when I'm not at the office working on mortgages, you know, I'm just like everybody else. I like to go to sporting events. I like to have people over for barbecues, and really big into giving back. Giving back means a ton to me, my family, and the company. Refinancing or buying a house, don't get abused by those other lenders. Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com. Thanks, Dan. The Home Loan Expert, LLC.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
In my practice, I was getting to the point where I couldn't have the strength to see that many patients anymore. I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis. It really affected my breathing and the strength that I had. And I was introduced to the fruits and veggies. Just slowly, my strength started to come back. And it was because of the good nutrition. I can't say enough good for Balance of Nature and what it's done for me. I recommend it to everybody.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
We live in exciting times. The rapid evolution of technology in industrial robotic automation systems offers a multitude of solutions designed to give manufacturers a competitive advantage. From ergonomics, quality control, and the need to meet increased production goals while improving the lives of everybody on the factory floor, industrial robotic automation can mean increased profitability and higher quality jobs. Matrix Industrial Automation has built a reputation as an industry leader in developing, building, and installing a wide range of turnkey robotic automation systems. Manufacturers big and small, local and worldwide, depend on Matrix to deliver the most optimal and robust industrial automation systems with improved ROI in mind. Nearly 2 decades of experience and hundreds of installed systems is why Matrix Industrial Automation, headquartered in Bartlett, Illinois, are the industrial automation experts. For information or to schedule a free automation consultation, visit matrixindustrialautomation.com or call 847-841-8260. That's matrixindustrialautomation.com.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson, and I impressed with the MyPillow mattress topper. There's 3 unique layers of comfort that evenly supports your body weight, helps relieve pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated all night, not too cold or too hot. Don't wait to get yours, because in June, you'll save 30%. Plus, when you buy a mattress topper at a discount, you can also get 2 free standard MyPillows. That's an unbelievable offer. 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off a mattress topper. Or get 1 low price on 2 MyPillows and receive free shipping. But you have to use the promo code Amy. There's a 10-year warranty on pillows and mattress toppers and a 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for these great deals and others, including 30% off pet beds, sheets, and more. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201, promo code Amy. MyPillow.com, that's 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The Chicago Tribune asks, when will the speaker get it, quote, unquote. Kristen McQuarrie, the Chicago Tribune editorial board, joins us at 7:37 with an answer, if not the answer.
Cool. Looking forward to that. But first, let's check in with news from here at home and around the world. Here is Mike Scott.
Partly to mostly cloudy at the moment, 65 degrees. House Republican leaders will be behind closed doors today in Washington. They're seeing if they can find a compromise on immigration legislation. An Alabama woman whose cause was championed by Kim Kardashian and many others is waking up a free woman this morning after serving more than 20 years in prison for a drug offense. Alice Johnson was released from a federal prison yesterday after President Trump commuted her sentence. The death toll is climbing from the violent volcanic eruption in Guatemala. Golda Ibarra is with World Vision in that country and says the impacted areas right now need as much help as they can get.
Mainly because of the lack of medicine and lack of sanitation. As you can see in most of the shelters, they're really, really crowded. And there's lack of water. It's really heartbreaking. A lot of families lost everything.
The Fuego volcano has claimed at least 99 lives and 200 more are missing. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan's right-hand man in Springfield is out of a job after another Me Too complaint. The speaker yesterday said his chief of staff, Tim Mapes, resigned at his direction. Chicago Teachers Union President Karen Lewis is back in the hospital after undergoing brain surgery. CTU Vice President Jesse Sharkey said yesterday's procedure is part of an ongoing treatment after the 2014 brain cancer diagnosis. And deli sandwiches will get a lot bigger, especially for what was formerly a big Illinois business. Jimmy John's will compete with Subway's footlong by coming out with a 16-inch sandwich. Spokesman for the food chain says it came about because there was consumer demand for the gargantuan. It also packs a calorie wallop, 2,190 calories, easily outdoing the government's recommendation of about 2,000 calories a day in total for most adults. Jason Hayward launches a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. The Cubs knock off the Phillies 7-5. White Sox down the Twins 5-2, and the Bears are closing out mandatory minicamp, and the Golden State Warriors about to close out the Cavaliers after a 110 102 win over the Cavs in Game 3 of the NBA Finals last night. The news service of Accountemps, finding highly skilled accounting and finance professionals can be a challenge. Accountemps can help with Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors. You can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
I am a Trump supporter.
The Joe Walsh Show.
Now, I am a Trump supporter who will freely criticize the president when I think he's done wrong. And done wrong can be sending out a stupid tweet, raising taxes, or supporting amnesty. It can be anything. It's the issues to me. And when President Trump does something that does not advance those issues, I'll call him out on it.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas. Great coffee, period.
Men, are you tired of those daily blue enhancement pills that take days, weeks, or months to work, if they ever work at all? Listen up. Now you can take Red, the new natural male empowerment pill that works on demand. Even your partner will notice the difference the very first time you use it. To prove Red won't disappoint like the others, you're invited to participate in our nationwide I Take Red Partner Reaction Guarantee Trial. We're seeking participants for this nationwide trial, not only to prove it works the very first time you try it. We guarantee your partner will also notice the difference. Forget those slow-acting blue pills and join those who proudly take Red. Over 50,000 pills have already been claimed and supplies are limited. So to ensure your participation in this free nationwide trial, you must call now.
Superior Virility on Demand. You only need to take Red once to see what all the fuss is about. Call immediately to participate in our free nationwide trial. Call 800-658-0723. 800-658-0723. Be one of thousands to proudly say, I take Red. 800-658-0723.
Dan Proft here, and I'm here with my guy, Ryan Kelly, at thehomeloanexpert.com. And everybody knows the housing market is en fuego. That means hot. But how do you take advantage of it? That's why we have an expert here. His name's Ryan Kelly, as I just mentioned, and he's going to tell us. Ryan?
Well, I appreciate it. Let me jump on, Dan, and you're exactly right. The housing market is hot, and homes are selling fast. You know, if you're thinking about selling your house, that's great. Just put a for sale sign in the yard, make up a price, and it should go fairly quick. If you're thinking about buying a home, it's never been more important to make sure you're working with a strong mortgage lender. Believe me when I tell you, you are not the only person watching those same streets, those same neighborhoods, the same school districts, waiting for the house to come on the market. There's a lot of people out there waiting for that same house. So make sure you're prepared. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com. That's thehomeloanexpert.com. Thanks, Dan. The Home Loan Expert, LLC, Tennessee Residential Mortgage Licensee.
7:37 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Like southbound Tri-State is jammed 2 to the O'Hare Oasis. There's a reported crash. Northbound delays from Southwest Highway to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial slows 75th most to the way to Roosevelt and from the Army Trail toll to 290. Eden's 22 minutes, Lake Cook Junction, outbound 30. Kennedy, 52 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 36. The Eisenhower's, an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound it's 47 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 36 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic, service of Napa. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, a 3-pack of Peak microfiber cloths for just $1.99. Plus, with each purchase, Napa will make a donation to the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. That's Napa know-how while supplies last. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, partly sunny. Maybe a shower or thunderstorm through the afternoon, a high of 79. Currently 65. Next news coming up at 8. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
No Victocrats allowed. Why? Because we've got a country to save. Join me, Larry Elder, tonight starting at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. 300 women in Springfield who work in and around state government signed a letter last year decrying the culture of sexual harassment and abuse inside and around state government. At that time, only one woman who had come forward, Denise Rothheimer, we've had on the show. Her allegations and the ultimate finding of fault with respect to State Senator Ira Silverstein cost him his seat. He lost the primary election. Now you've had 3 more women come forward. Elena Hampton, a former Madigan staffer, making allegations of harassment by one of Madigan's field goons. You had a woman come forward, an advocate, and accuse Madigan's deputy majority leader, Lou Lang, of inappropriate behavior.
Yeah, she was on our show.
Marianne Lancour. You've had Kelly Cassidy, who's a state rep in the Democrat caucus, talk of her mistreatment. Frankly, you've had another state rep, Deb Conroy, in the caucus last year. She didn't want to go against Madigan. She didn't want to say anything negative about Madigan. She didn't want to say anything at all about it, but she was also harassed by the same person, allegedly, that harassed Elena Hampton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there seems to be
or one of the two that was pegged at the time, and now you've got this Sherry Garrett.
Right. There seems to be a locker room environment going on down there in Springfield. Sherry Garrett coming forward yesterday is talking about multiple instances of being bullied and harassment.
Over the course of the last several years, I have endured and have personally witnessed bullying and repeated harassment that was often sexual and sexist in nature in my workplace. In my case, this harassment has taken place at the highest levels in the State House. Tim Mapes, Chief of Staff to Speaker Madigan, has made repeated inappropriate comments to me and around me, both in the office and on the House floor.
So Tim Mapes, Madigan's implementation guy for a long time, he then hastily resigns. I mean, the speed of this was really interesting because to me it indicates Madigan is in full self-survival mode. She has a press conference at 11 a.m. yesterday, makes the charges, names Mapes, Madigan's chief of staff. By early afternoon, Mapes resigned, Madigan putting out a press release that Mapes resigned at his instruction.
But from everything. I mean, he also resigned as the executive director of the Democratic Party of Illinois. But what he did to Sherry Garrett allegedly is made really lewd, inappropriate comments.
Tim Mapes said, completely out of nowhere, that I needed to make sure that I was not showing my pink bra to the judge during Inauguration Day, because he knows how the girls who work on the second floor like to leave little to the imagination.
And the point of contention is that when women felt harassed or bullied, they had to go through Tim Mapes to get to Mike Madigan.
The only way as an employee to see Speaker Madigan is you have to make an appointment through Tim.
The interesting thing is that you've got the inner sanctum of Madigan that has been pierced. And so the question is, one of the questions, all of the virtue signaling Me Too types that rallied to pass the Equal Rights Amendment 400 years after its introduction.
Well, 36, but
okay. This past session, yeah. Because they're such proponents of women. Where are they now? Jeannie Ives, a proponent of women from a different direction, a Republican, of course, had this to say.
The Democrats have a real problem in this culture of sexual harassment, and it's not going to get changed with Speaker Madigan in charge.
For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Kristen McQuarrie, she of the Chicago Tribune editorial board. Kristen, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Editorial in the Chicago Tribune. When will Democrat members, especially those who make a public show of their opposition to harassment, grow a spine? They're all about #MeToo when it's trendy, just not when it actually matters. Is there any indication, Kristen, that spines are growing in the wake of the Mapes resignation?
I mean, not yet, but as you mentioned, you can't get any closer to Madigan than Tim Mapes. This is someone who's been his chief of staff since the early 90s, Everything goes through Tim Mapes. On those days when session is really busy, he's the person setting up the committee rooms. He's the person deciding who's going to sit on the committees. He's subbing people out. He's providing staff. He decides if you get an attorney to help with your petitions when it's time to run. He decides what bills get assigned to you. So this is kind of Speaker Madigan's gatekeeper, hatchet man. The fact that he's gone, I think, will kind of settle a lot of that uprising. But this is as close as it gets to hitting the speaker directly.
But there's, she complained of multiple instances of bullying and harassment, but this isn't really sexual abuse or sexual assault.
Not at all. And I think the issue with Tim Mapes is not going to rest on sexual harassment. Yes, he made these comments which were highly inappropriate, and he made them, by the way, during all of this. One of the accusers' claims happened as recently as a couple of months ago when they were all having to go through sexual harassment training, and Tim Mapes was kind of belittling it and mocking it and joking around to some of the male members. Had they gone to their sex training yet today? So this is all very recent. But no, I think the bigger issue with him, because I think male staffers and lawmakers would come forward too, that he runs a very tight ship, and that's putting it nicely. That whole label that you attach to Madigan, how disciplined he is, that's because of someone like Tim Mapes. And just the stories I've heard over the years from lawmakers, male and female, about how he doles out punishment. I mean, you mentioned Kelly Cassidy earlier, North Side lawmaker. Tim Mapes made a phone call to her boss. She was doing some part-time work for Tom Dart, just to inquire about her employment status. That was a signal because she was starting to get out of line. And those are the types of things that he's done over the years. I've heard lawmakers who didn't behave as they were supposed to be. They got their seats moved in the House chamber. They didn't get attorneys to help them gather petitions. Just a lot of these backdoor channels of keeping people in their places. And I just want to mention one more thing. The Tribune years ago did a story trying to connect how many people in government got their jobs through Mike Madigan / Tim Mapes. And they were able to track it to 400 people and positions. What? That's just how many they were able to track.
There's exponentially more than that. I mean,
yes.
It's in the thousands, maybe tens of thousands. I mean, over 40 years, 400, that's nothing. But I understand what you're saying, which is what you could substantiate. Here's the thing. I mean, the Kelly Cassidy thing, notwithstanding the propriety of a state rep being an employee of the sheriff's office or these state legislators that are employees of or lobbyists for other governmental units, the inherent conflict of that. The question is the combination of the progressive caucus within the Chicago Democrat Party. I mean, I guess that's what it is. That's the power structure. I mean, I guess that's increasingly the whole party as they move left, just as what's happening at the national level, the hard move left. Is there any sense that there is an uprising against Madigan with Mapes out of the way, that now he's actually weaker? And this is the chance to make the move. Maybe the hard leftists like Kelly Cassidy and Guzzardi and some of the other ones, combined with the J.B. Pritzker, who doesn't need to have Madigan to worry about as he's running for governor.
It's certainly possible, but the reason I raised those 400 positions is because those are family members of a lot of these lawmakers. And so Madigan is still, he's not going to let go of that grip of power, and he still does have influence over these members. And just think about what Madigan has survived. He was very close to Joe Barrios. He has escaped any scrutiny for the most part over the whole scandal with how the property tax system works.
Yeah.
He was part of a federal investigation in the early 2000s, handing out bonuses to state workers that federal investigators in Central Illinois were looking at. He survived the patronage scandal at Metra just a couple of years ago. He has survived the clout scholarships, giving scholarships to U of I and other.
Yeah, but this is different. This is different because it's everybody gets this, and it's like a national. There's national zeitgeist behind it. This is not some.
Well, the Me Too movement has taken down more powerful men than Mike Madigan.
Well, but right, but like comparing this to like a Metra patronage scandal, that's so inside baseball in a city, in a state that's inured to corruption. This is something different, don't you think?
I mean, I guess if I were seeing some sort of reaction from these lawmakers that you mentioned, I've been calling them out on Twitter, just reminding them that they were all part of the Me Too march. They marched in the streets. They wear the pink hats. They all wore black during Rauner's State of the State address in January as a sign of solidarity. And they're not saying anything. I haven't even seen like a press release except for maybe one of them. So that's why I'm not feeling that they're going to go after Madigan. I think removing Tim Mapes kind of removes the cancer, and they will be satisfied with that.
Everybody's pretty jumpy, though. I mean, Governor Rauner, former Governor Rauner, he called for Ken Duncan's resignation from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District Board yesterday because Ken Duncan was one of the legislators that was named by Sherry Garrett as having been inappropriate with her, which is
because he was naughty with her. No, he allegedly asked two ladies who would be the naughtiest if they went back to his house. I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah, well, that's and it's not surprising either, unfortunately. But Duncan was recently appointed to MWRD by Rauner, which is a payback from that vote against stripping the governor of his collective bargaining powers. And he calls on Duncan to resign just weeks after he appointed him. So everybody's pretty jumpy about this.
They absolutely are. I mean, that was just a joke. I mean, he got the appointment through Rauner. He has no experience on MWRD. This is one of those just really cushy jobs. I think it's an $80,000 salary. They meet once a month. So just the hypocrisy of that alone is borderline comical. But yeah, everybody is jumpy, and I think J.B. Pritzker coming out, and he was the first one yesterday to really step forward and say Tim Mapes needs to resign. And of course, he's the same guy who during the primary wouldn't say one bad word about Joe Barry or Mike Madigan. But now that he's the nominee, suddenly he has a spine, and frankly, he doesn't need Mike Madigan anymore. He is kind of coasting through this campaign. He's not fearful of this organization anymore. So yes, everyone's very jumpy.
Now, coasting through this campaign, you tweeted out because there was other development yesterday that didn't receive as much attention because of all the MAPE stuff going on. But State Senator Karen McConaughey from Kane County announced that she is not seeking re-election. And you tweeted out something that she said she's looking for other opportunities. You talked about perhaps there being something quote unquote big in the works for McConaughey. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Well, this is just rumor, okay? This is just rumor, so please take it as that. But I have heard over the past couple of months that Governor Rauner is very discouraged. He and his wife do not want to write big checks anymore. They're tired of self-funding this campaign. He sees the numbers. He's worried he can't win. And there were some discussions about replacing him on the ticket. I know it sounds totally bizarre, and that's why I'm couching this as just rumor, but one of the names was Karen McConaughey, and it just struck me as an unusual time for her to be stepping down. She's kind of been a rising star in the legislature during all this Me Too because she heads up the Ethics Commission. And so maybe she's just going to scoot over to like some sort of internal job in the General Assembly. That's possible. Maybe she's going to go to the private sector. But her name did come up as someone who could be sort of a standby if Rauner decided he was going to get out of the race. I don't
That's all right.
think
We already talked about Todd Ricketts being offered that position.
Yes,
allegedly.
Exactly.
Another
not
rumor.
No, it's really not a rumor, Dan.
Well,
I mean, there was money talked and how much money he'd be paid, and or given his campaign if he took the reins from Governor Rauner.
Well, it's just worth noting because these rumors, we're here in the first week of June, and these rumors still persist. You're 5 months from the election.
Yes, and I mean, just watching Rauner's campaign, he really just seems not even be trying, and so that just kind of feeds more of the speculation that maybe he's going to give up and that he's willing to give up the seat because he knows that he can't win and he'd rather see a Republican take another shot at it. Now, I've heard other people say it would never happen. His ego is way too big to do something like that, but it's early and yet it's not. And I just don't see a lot of enthusiasm on his side. You got to start campaigning, and I'm not seeing it.
And he's a businessman. I mean, pretty savvy businessman. Why is he going to want to throw away millions of dollars if he knows he's going to lose?
Exactly, especially when JB came out and said he's going to match, he's going to double down. For every dollar Rauner spends, he's going to spend $2.
Oh, my gosh. We've got to ask you about this report in the Chicago Tribune earlier this week. Blockbuster report about the incidents of sexual abuse, assault, improper conduct by teachers and school administrators in CPS over the last, I think the period they looked at actual cases was from 2011 to present. And speaking of reckonings, what about the reckoning for ROM, for the city council, for the bureaucracy at CPS in the wake of that report?
That is just so shocking and abysmal. And the buck does stop with Rob. And I think he gets away too often. He's done a really good job of separating himself from what happens at CPS, just messaging-wise. He doesn't even really get asked about it a lot by the media. A couple of months ago, the state took over all the special education components of CPS because they were dropping the ball all the time with special ed. He really didn't get asked about that. But this is one of those issues where the buck does stop with him. And that story posted, I think, early on Friday or late Thursday, and it still took 3 or 4 days for him to come out and acknowledge responsibility. But it's big. This is going to give his opponents a lot of ammunition in the mayor's race.
All right. She is Kristen McQuarrie, Chicago Tribune columnist and editorial board member, who will be sitting in for you tomorrow, Amy, when you're off doing your Day of Beauty or whatever you're doing.
A Day of Beauty.
Yes,
I'm going to a wedding.
Kristen, thanks so much for joining us.
Big shoes to fill, Amy. I look forward to it.
Yes, bring food for the crew.
Exactly.
Okay, I will.
Or may I suggest Uber Eats from McDonald's?
Bring food or cash, one of the two. Thanks, Kristen.
Oh, my goodness. All right, bye.
And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that not only recommend it, but use Balance of Nature as well.
I look at Balance of Nature and I look what it's doing for me as I've started taking it, and for the patients that I have that are taking it, it's been phenomenal watching the changes that have happened and how much healthier and how much more energy that they have. I haven't heard any negative feedback from any of my patients who have been taking the product. The thing that amazes me with it is that it's so simple.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, the school year is coming to an end. For some of you, it's already over. And maybe you're looking back at the year thinking, I'm not happy with my kid's school experience. Well, now's the perfect time to start thinking about doing something different this fall. Don't send your child back to a school that you just aren't happy with. Start thinking about sending your child to a private school at half the regular price. Thanks to halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find local private schools from all over the Chicago area. We have Faith Evangelical Lutheran in Antioch, Calvin Christian School in South Holland, Midwestern Christian Academy in Chicago. The list goes on and on. Here's what you do. Find a school near you, purchase a tuition voucher, and send your child off to school this fall. It's really that simple. Make private schools affordable for your family for the first time this year, and do it quickly because these vouchers always sell out. Visit halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
There's always that time of day when the sun creates havoc at the office.
This is ridiculous.
You're literally blinded by the light. Can't see a thing on your computer monitor and feel like you're baking in an oven. Make your office or storefront distraction-free with custom shades from 1-800-4BLINDS. You'll keep your customers comfortable, protect furnishings and decor from fading, and have happy, productive employees that don't have to stop in the middle of a project because of the glare. 1-800-4BLINDS can get the job done quickly with their local in-house installation crew. You'll save money on window treatments that not only look great, but will also help you shrink utility bills with special heat-reducing shades that can trap heat between the window and shade. They also offer custom painted solar shades with your logo or photo image printed directly on the shade. Get the sun out of your eyes. Call 1-800-4BLINDS direct for a consultation today. 773-447-5448 or visit 1-800-4blindchicago.com. That's 1-800-4blindchicago.com.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
When you're insured by Mag Mutual, you get more than just medical professional liability protection. You get partnership. They're your partner when it comes to safeguarding patients, physicians, and healthcare teams. Everything they do is focused on protecting and supporting you in the practice of medicine. From helping you save money to mitigating your risk, they are your single source for customized service and support. Their promise to protect includes comprehensive insurance solutions for the practice, business, and regulation of medicine, from expert guidance to an extensive resource library and complimentary access to up-to-date. They're committed to creating a plan specifically for you, ensuring your continued success. You can stay focused on your patients, knowing Mag Mutual is your partner. Visit them on the web at magmutual.com.
For more information about Mag Mutual in Illinois, please contact Dr. Shaw at Flagship Healthcare at 312-888-9248 or by email at info@flagshiphc.com. Visit their website at flagshiphc.com.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
President Trump meets with the leader of Japan today. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. It's ahead of his meeting with the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un next week and a summit in Canada tomorrow. At the White House, here's Fox's John Decker.
Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is most concerned that President Trump might strike a deal with North Korea that would eliminate the missile threat to the continental U.S., but permit Pyongyang to retain missiles that could strike Japan or South Korea. Abe is also expected to ask President Trump once again to raise with Kim Jong-un the fate of Japanese abducted by the North in the 70s and 80s. Separately, ahead of the G7 summit, Abe will also likely ask the president to remove Japan from U.S. steel and aluminum tariffs. Chris?
John, thanks. House Republicans meet this hour trying to work out differences within the party on immigration policy. Meantime, a judge in California is letting a lawsuit go forward that could stop the federal government from separating immigrant children from their parents.
The lawsuit involves a 7-year-old girl who was separated from her Congolese mother and a 14-year-old boy separated from his Brazilian mother as they were trying to get into the U.S. The families claim their constitutional rights to a fair hearing were denied. The judge in the case says, if true, the separations are brutal and offensive. He's ruled the lawsuit can go ahead and will decide later if there should be a nationwide halt to the conduct. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has said adults who enter the U.S. illegally will be prosecuted, even if it means taking parents from children. Jill Nato, Fox News.
A toy grenade in a bag shuts down an airport in Houston.
It was carried by a Boy Scout who was going out of town.
Charles Regal with Houston Police.
Thank you so much.
And Carrie Underwood wins her 18th CMT Music Award, more than anybody else, for Female Video of the Year for her song The Champion. Blake Shelton's the other big winner of the night for I'll Name the Dogs. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Cloudy skies, 65 degrees, 8:02 is our time. On AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. One man is dead following a police shooting on Chicago's South Side. Officers were conducting a narcotics investigation last night on East 47. They began chasing a man who ran from them. An armed confrontation ensued. An officer shot the man, who died later at a nearby hospital. A gun was recovered at the scene, and a police sergeant was also hospitalized. Illinois House Speaker Mike Madigan's right-hand man bumped out of a job at the State House after another Me Too complaint. The Speaker yesterday saying his chief of staff, Tim Mapes, resigned at his direction. Chicago Teachers Union President Karen Lewis is back in the hospital after undergoing another brain surgery. Yesterday's procedure is part of the ongoing treatment for a 2014 brain cancer diagnosis. The family of an Elgin woman who was shot and killed by police in March is suing that city. DeCynthia Clements was gunned down by an Elgin officer following a long standoff along I-90. A lawsuit filed by the family claims the shooting was unjustified. The officer who pulled the trigger and 10 other officers on the scene were listed as defendants in the suit. Chicago sports, Cubs knock off the Phillies 7-5 at Wrigley, while the White Sox down the Twins 5-2 at Target Field. A win for the Fire over Columbus, 10-9 on penalty kicks in round 4 of the U.S. Open Cup. 8:03 is our time. Time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network. Here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, your information could wind up being stored on the bottom of the sea. Microsoft says it now has a prototype data center operating on the seafloor near Scotland. The center was dropped into the sea last Friday, and Microsoft says it's online and performing some computing tasks. Microsoft previously unloaded a mini data center off the central California coast, where it ran for 105 days. Colorado-based Vail Resort says earnings rose more than 40% in its recent quarter. It's also raising its forecast for the year. Tesla shares rose nearly 10% yesterday after shareholders re-elected Chief Executive Elon Musk, and he promised the company will be producing 5,000 Model 3 sedans a week by the end of June. The Dow closed up 346 yesterday. NASDAQ added 51. S&P gained 23. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
It's 8:04. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder is trying to figure out the rules of the media.
Roseanne Barr tweets out this stupid, offensive tweet, and she's gone. Now, again, I don't have a dog in the fight. If ABC wants to take her off because they feel that she's too offensive, that's on them. They probably did the only sensible thing they could do as far as business is concerned. What I'm trying to figure out is what the rules are. How does Al Sharpton have a show?
The Larry Elder Show. Weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule. Thousands of doctors, health specialists, and professionals recommend Balance of Nature as a way of improving their health. Listen to a few unsolicited success stories from doctors that use Balance of Nature as well.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. I take Balance of Nature because I know, I've seen it in my lab, and I know that it works. I've seen the immune response increase, I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection. And that, to me, as a scientist, rings so true.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
All money managers may seem pretty much the same. But while some money managers may recommend high commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some money managers may have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some money managers are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. In other words, we're structured to be on your side. Maybe that's why most of our clients come to us from other money managers. Talk with us and find out why so many experienced investors are switching to and staying with Fisher Investments. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management. Investments in securities involve the risk of loss. Visit us at FisherInvestments.com to find out what we can do for you.
For more than a half century, Mueller CPA and Financial Advisory has provided audit, tax, outsourced accounting, business consulting, and financial advisory services to Chicagoland companies. Mueller provides customized financial guidance to a client base that includes independent business owners, startups, local government, and nonprofits. I'm with Dave Nissen, Mueller Managing Partner.
Thanks, Dan. Mueller values being part of the community for the last 50 years, meeting our clients' financial service needs. A major component of meeting those needs is our professionals' superb knowledge and their ability to deliver timely and quality solutions to meet our clients' challenges. Whether you're interested in tax minimization strategies, looking to expand your business, or need assistance with business planning, our team can help. Our goal is your company's financial success today and over a lifetime.
For questions about how the recent legislative changes can specifically affect your business or how to effectively plan for these changes, call Dave Nissen at 847-888-8600. or visit MuellerCPA.com. That's Mueller, Mueller, CPA.com.
It is 8:08 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonti.
Thanks, Mike. Northbound Lakeshore Drive has delays Belmont to Irving Park, where 3 left lanes are blocked with the reported wrong-way driver. Southbound, it's heavy in that area. Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Edens is 19 minutes. Lake Cook to Junction, outbound 33. Kennedy, 48 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, outbound 35. The Eisenhower, an hour and 2 minutes, 390 to downtown. 42 minutes from Manheim, outbound 47 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 12 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Bryan, 45 minutes, 95 to downtown. Southbound Tri-State is jammed. Tui, make they have Gulf Road down to the O'Hare Oasis due to a crash in the left lane. Traffic service of Lowe's. Pro customers at Lowe's save 5% every day when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Account. That's 5% on all purchases in-store or online. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Partial sunshine with a shower or thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon, high 79. Then a shower or thunderstorm around tonight, low 59. Clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm tomorrow, high 77 and a low 65. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
65 at O'Hare, 62 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley. Targeted legal advice for your business. KelleherandBuckley.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, good morning. And some breaking news. The U.S. has reached a deal with the Chinese company ZTE, that telecom company, over which the president and his team have been negotiating with the Chinese for both in terms of the punishment for their pirating of American technology, their theft, as well as
business with Iranians and things that were frowned upon,
like stealing our stuff.
Yeah, that too.
Stealing the stuff of
Just
American
don't touch
companies.
my stuff, really.
The IP and whatnot. So that was being discussed in connection with the idea that perhaps we could get the Chinese to buy more U.S. products to deal with that trade imbalance that Trump worries about so much. There was some talk of $40 billion more annual purchases of U.S. goods by the Chinese. In the announcement, there's no indication of the quo with the quid, but ZTE will pay $1 billion and $400 million in escrow for future theft they plan to commit, and that's in addition to almost $900 million in penalties ZTE has already paid for their violations. So I don't know if it's hard to say if that's progress in this back and forth with the Chinese over trade policy and tariffs or not, but that deal that had been reported off and on for the last couple of weeks has now been consummated. And then this story yesterday that was underreported, a Senate subcommittee report on the Iranian nuclear deal that found that the Obama administration lied to Congress and lied to the American people and tried to get U.S. banks to break the law. But other than that, they were forthright and transparent.
There's nothing to see here, folks. Move along.
The Obama administration, was clear that Iran would not be given access to the U.S. financial system. That's what Jack Lew, the Treasury Secretary, and other Obama apparatchiks said. That's what they said. Then, February 24th, 2016, according to the Senate report, the Treasury Department issued a license permitting Iran to commit $5.7 billion it held in Oman to raise to U.S. dollars and then into euros. That would have violated the sanctions law as well as the terms of the Iran nuclear deal. As the Weekly Standards editorial puts it, to put it plainly, Obama officials asked U.S. banks to break the law, and the banks said no. Huh. For more on these topics and others, we're pleased to be joined by Noah Rothman from Commentary Magazine, where he is the associate editor. Noah, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
What about that report on the Iranian nuclear deal, given the hysterics that the left was thrown into when Trump walked away from it recently?
Yeah, I mean, you remember hearing about how the Obama administration faced no scandals. It was a scandal-free administration.
Scandal-free.
Everyone,
Yeah.
including the president, has suggested that they were just a forthright, up-and-up, above-board organization that didn't transgress any norms and certainly didn't break any laws. Well, there you go. I mean, this is just one of many. Obviously, that was nonsense from the get-go, but this is an affirmation of what critics of the Iran deal have always said, is that it was not a transparent process, that it was riddled with side deals. The IAEA had side deals, Europe had side deals, and now apparently the Obama administration was organizing an effort to enhance and strengthen the Iranian economy in violation of sanctions laws in order to sweeten the pot for Iran. This is the backdrop against which Donald Trump is heading to Singapore to negotiate a very fraught and complex agreement with the North Koreans designed ostensibly to denuclearize the peninsula. That is not going to happen. North Korea will not denuclearize. So what are we going to give up? So what are we going to give up in that process? Because there's always going to be a lot on the table that we have to surrender as leverage in order to get illusory concessions on disarmament. Is a very disturbing prospect, and people who are very afraid of symmetry for these reasons, because it has a habit of sprawling and ending up putting the balance in favor of the rogue regimes, have a lot to point to as precedent.
Are you concerned then that this summit is happening at all? Would your advice and counsel be that the president does not engage with Kim Jong-un?
Yeah, I said he was correct to walk away from the summit when he said he walked away from it, and that everybody pretended like he never made that statement in the first place, the president included. And it was extremely bizarre, and I said they were wrong to do that. This is a process that should be limited to lower levels, functionaries, diplomats at a level that you can move up from. You know, once you have a principal summit, there's nowhere to go from there.
Right.
If it's a failure, then the lower level diplomatic contacts are mooted. And which is why, by the way, the summit will not be a failure, air quotes. Something will emerge from that summit. There will be a, quote, success that emerges from that summit, and that scares me to death.
Well, what we do is we pay our enemies to be our friends, don't we? I mean, is that a possibility that we're going to, lessen the sanctions on them and possibly help their oppressed people?
Yeah, sure. We will probably surrender security guarantees, perhaps diplomatic recognition, an end to the 1953 armistice. There will absolutely be economic assistance in the form of, as you said, reduced sanctions or something perhaps a little more substantial. I don't know. But we will be surrendering something, and North Korea will play ball. They have no choice but to pretend as though, to act as though they are participating in this process, just as Iran did. And everybody who's invested in diplomatic processes will say that Iran is compliant with whatever the lenient terms of the deal are, or rather North Korea is compliant with the lenient terms of the deal are. Again, this is all precedent. We watched this all happen with Iran. It was all an illusion, the appearance of success. And if anybody's really interested in peace on the peninsula, the summit seems to me to be a much more dangerous prospect than a hopeful one.
Well, I want to mainly know what Dennis Rodman gets out of it. Speaking of principles at the table.
Yeah, well, he's inserted himself, and he's going to be, lurking around Singapore while they're having this summit.
That really adds a
reality TV touch flair to it.
Well, it adds real intellectual heft and sobriety to this summit. All right, on to other serious things. Noah, you wrote a piece for Commentary about the crisis that we are pretending to ignore. You're talking about the entitlement state and sort of the state of affairs with the big ticket welfare state systems in terms of their financial stability.
Yeah, it's no secret that, and we managed to push it off with Band-Aids. But we got some bad news over the course of this week. Apparently, according to the trustees for both programs, Medicare is going to go broke a lot faster than we thought it was going to. It's going to hit insolvency in 2026 instead of 2029. That's 8 years away for anybody who wants to do the math. In other words, the next president's either second term or first term. And the Social Security quote-unquote trust fund, which doesn't really exist, was tapped into by the program. This is going to be tapped into the program this week because it's going to reach the point at which it can no longer meet its obligations to its beneficiaries. Now, people who want to say that this is no big deal, e.g. Democrats who insist that both Medicare and Social Security can be expanded to the broader population without any sort of concern for the solvency of the programs, say that this isn't a really big thing, is that it's only going to hit a wall for certain aspects of the program, and certain beneficiaries may not get 100% of their benefits. They're only going to be able to pay out 90% of their benefits. No big deal. That's nonsense. Even the smallest debate over the prospect of, say, for example, means testing Social Security beneficiaries results in garment-rending, hair-pulling out insanity over the people who will be left in the streets to die. There's going to be a panic in the next decade. And also because, according to the CBO, in 2028, the nation's debt, sovereign debt, reaches over 100% of its GDP, at which point debt becomes inserviceable. We have a crisis. So we're either going to have a debate over serious cuts to the entitlement programs or really serious tax increases.
So
and
people
that's
that are
going to come amid, and eventually the business cycle returns, right? I mean, we are due for a recession. So when this thing hits, it could hit amid some really serious political dysfunction.
I know how to fix it. Make it bigger. That's how you. That's how you do. Yeah.
So people who are banking on their Social Security as their retirement plan, they should get another plan.
Well, I mean, everybody should have a 401k or some sort of a financial plan and put some money in something. I mean, it's a lot easier said than done. I know I can't do it, but it's something that you should be doing. It's not as though these benefits are going to disappear again. There's a difference between disability and retirement benefits, and people want to combine them all. But the bottom line is that you're going to have to engage in some kind of reform of these programs, not just Band-Aids. The president submitted some, which some actually very good proposals, I thought. But it requires legislative action, and now is the time to do it when the economy is healthy, when the jobless rate is under 4%. This is the time when the economy can absorb that kind of pain. It's not going to be the case forever, and when the business cycle returns, no one's going to want to be tightening belts, and that's the sort of thing we have to think about.
With those reviews of threats, internal and external, we were joined by Noah Rothman, associate editor for Commentary Magazine. You can check out his most recent column talking about the entitlements and their state, financial state, the crisis we pretended to ignore. Noah, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, 10 things about Harvard graduates you need to know. But first, here is your forecast. Partly sunny today. The sun's shining right now, but there's some showers popping up in Sioux City, Iowa that could get here by this afternoon. Rain in spots for your Cubs home game. Starts at 1:20, I think. Dan will be there. A high near 80 degrees. Then tonight, some showers or thunderstorms in the area. A low in the upper 60s. And for tomorrow, we're going to have clouds and sun, a couple of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 77 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The one, the only, Jim Telemonte.
Oh, a topic-worthy introduction. Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Morning, Dan. Southbound Tri-State got a big jam from Gulf Road to the O'Hare Oasis, and it's due to a crash blocking the left lane at the Oasis. Northbound Tri-State, it's heavy, 115th to 47th, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial, delays are from 75th to the Reagan Tollway, then from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Eden's fine inbound. Outbound, it's 32 minutes to get from Montrose to Lake Cook. Kennedy, 52 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, much heavier in the express lanes. And outbound downtown to O'Hare, 33 minutes. Eisenhower, an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound, 42 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 12 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound, 39 minutes. The Ryan is 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Earnings vary based on your effort.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, call 1-800-300-2330. Seating is extremely limited. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals Guide. That's 1-800-300-2330. That's 1-800-300-2330.
Homeowners say their basement only leaks when it rains. Well, you don't worry about your living room getting wet, do you? Then why do you want to worry about your basement? Permaseal believes that your basement should be dry all of the time, so no matter how hard it rains, you can have a permanently dry basement. Give Permaseal a call at 800-421-SEAL. They offer a free estimate and transferable warranties, so you can rest assured you're getting the best value. You know, back in 1979, Roy Spencer started Permaseal, and it's still a local Chicagoland business, and their purpose is to make the world a better place, one basement or crawl space at a time. Your basement is already dry some of the time, but why not have your basement dry all of the time? You know who to call. Permaseal, 800-421-SEAL. That's 800-421-7325, or go to permaseal.net.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I went to have my blood test done a few weeks ago, and I met the doctor, and he was really encouraged by my progress, and I showed him what I was taking, and he started looking at all the ingredients, and he said, I'm really impressed with the shiitake mushroom. And he said, this stuff, it could clean out your arteries. And I'm like, oh, wow. He said, you may be onto something here. And he said, you just keep that up, and maybe you can start cutting back on your medication. And he says, you're helping your health by doing that. And I'm like, whoa, endorsement by the doctor.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751. That's 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Gentlemen, June is Men's Health Month. Do you know your numbers? You may know your blood pressure and cholesterol, but do you know your testosterone and prostate numbers? I know mine. I went to Low T Center. They make it quick and easy. You'll know your results in about 20 minutes. At Low T Center, most health insurance is accepted. They'll even verify your insurance for you. Low T Center's physicians have been exclusively diagnosing and treating men for low testosterone for years. And in honor of Men's Health Month, Low T Center is offering a special testosterone and prostate level test for just $50. Take advantage of this offer, especially if you haven't met your deductible yet, or have a high copay, or simply don't have insurance. If you've noticed a decline in energy or motivation, you may have low testosterone. Low T makes you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. Low T Center's experienced medical staff will educate you on the benefits and risks of testosterone replacement. When it comes to your health and daily quality of life, do what I did. Get your numbers checked. You owe it to yourself. Call 312-239-3427. Tell them Dan Prof sent you. The number again, 312-239-3427. Or go to lowtcenter.com for more information. That's lowtcenter.com.
You know, Schrank Smoke & Gun has the largest selection of new and used firearms in Lake County. And now in June, green tags save you some green. All pre-owned firearms are on sale. Just look for the green tags. Also in June, 50-round 9mm Federal Range ammo is only $10.50 per box, and 500-round Federal bricks of .22 caliber LR ammo is only $39.95. Generations of customers shop Schranks for the family atmosphere and huge selection of pistols, rifles, shotguns, hard-to-find calibers, collectibles, and older functioning hunting rifles with inventory changing daily. Plus, they have on-site gunsmith services from simple cleaning to repair. For cigar lovers, find your favorites in Schrank's humidors, along with a broad selection of pipes and tobacco. Visit SmokeTheletterN.gun.org or call 847-662-4034. And check Facebook and Instagram for frequent flash sales. Drive north and save on taxes at Schrank Smoke & Gun in Waukegan. your family-owned gun store since 1964.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
Dan Proft here with Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. And while interest rates have ticked up a bit, they're still at relatively historic lows. So maybe a good time to refinance, particularly you build up equity in the house and you want to see what you can do to fully leverage that. So, Ryan, thinking about refinancing as a possibility or something to explore, how should people consider that?
Great question, Dan, and thanks for letting me join you. Home values have been skyrocketing. It's everywhere. It's in the news feeds. It's out there. And you now have a ton of equity you didn't have just a year ago. And as you said, mortgage interest rates are still low. So what does that mean? It means you have options. You know, one of the biggest calls that we get here at the Home Loan Expert office is, I've got some credit cards. They piled up through the holidays or maybe with the kids in school and all that. And people are looking to do a cash-out refinance and pay off those credit cards. Cash-out refinance with the Home Loan Expert office is just as easy as a normal refinance, but we don't stop there. We get you the lower rate. We get you the cash you need to pay off those credit cards once and for all. Apply for a cash-out refinance today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert, LLC.
Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Prominent Christian cleric Richard John Newhouse stated, "Socialism is a religion people get when they lose their religion." That statement seems as relevant today in many socialist countries around the globe.
I know you support companies that share your conservative values. For FDA-regulated staffing needs, Automated Systems provides top talent, from experienced quality control and quality assurance engineers to top validation and compliance experts. Depend on Automated Systems. Hiring the best is critical to success. ASI Resources are all degreed professionals with decades of experience in manufacturing, automation, and FDA compliance. That's why ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life science companies to successful startups. For a staffing evaluation, call Laz at Automated Systems, toll-free 844-HIRE-ASI, or visit automatedsys.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Facebook's list of shows it's funding on Facebook Watch is out. We'll give you the rundown. You'll be very interested to see if you can notice anything that all the shows have in common.
And he's back. Top Gun 2 is out, and one man is playing Val. What is? Oh my gosh!
Val Kilmer, Iceman.
Val Kilmer, Iceman's back, but can he fit in the plane? We'll discuss. But first, let's go to the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
69.
I'm so rude. I'm fat shaming. I shouldn't be. Oh, maybe I should.
Well, maybe you should be. It's Val Kilmer. 69 degrees, and we do have mostly sunny skies at the moment. We're watching House Republicans gather at the Capitol. They want to compromise on immigration today. Lawmakers are trying to put together a bill that satisfies conservatives who want to crack down on illegal immigrants and control the border, as well as moderates who want to protect those brought to the U.S. illegally as children. President Trump says he's on his way to the G7 summit in Canada, fighting for our country on trade, also tweeting out good luck and a happy life to Alice Johnson, the woman he granted clemency to after she spent 20 years in prison on drug charges. Several U.S. diplomats in China are coming home for a medical evaluation. According to the State Department, the group is suffering from mysterious illnesses, symptoms similar to what personnel in Cuba suffered. New Jersey lawmakers are set to vote on half dozen measures to tighten the state's already strict gun laws. One bill under consideration would require seizure of firearms when a mental health professional determines someone poses a threat. Chicago Teachers Union President Karen Lewis back in the hospital after undergoing brain surgery, part of an ongoing treatment for her 2014 brain cancer diagnosis. Mayor Rahm Emanuel says the party's over for those illegal party bus operators in the city. Emanuel says today he's teaming up with Secretary of State Jesse White to ensure all party bus operators are following city rules. Mayor's also creating a party bus safety task force so the city, police, and state can easily share information. Illinois' bicentennial best of voters have until the end of the day tomorrow to pick the state's best books. The latest Illinois Top 200 list focuses on books written by Illinois authors or on Illinois subjects. The Jungle by Upton Sinclair is tops on that list, as is Mike Royko's biography of the first Mayor Daley and The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So, what is a New York-born L. Frank Baum's tie to the state of Illinois? He wrote the book here in Chicago and took inspiration for the main character, Dorothy, from his niece who was buried in Bloomington. Jason Hayward launched a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. Cubs knock off the Phillies 7-5. Sox down the Twins 5-2 at Target Field. The news service of Accountemps with payroll, bookkeeping, and month end. Are you feeling short-staffed? Accountemps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call them today or visit Accountemps.com. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher believes there's lots of layers to the canceling of Roseanne.
I'm angry at her for the stupidity of this tweet. I'm angry but not surprised at the pathetic attempt to link a Roseanne tweet to President Trump. It shouldn't be unexpected. They jumped on that bandwagon over at CNN in a heartbeat.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois.
Men, are you tired of those daily blue enhancement pills that take days, weeks, or months to work, if they ever work at all? Listen up. Now you can take Red, the new natural male empowerment pill that works on demand. Even your partner will notice the difference the very first time you use it. To prove Red won't disappoint like the others, you're invited to participate in our nationwide I Take Red Partner Reaction Guarantee Trial. We're seeking participants for this nationwide trial, not only to prove it works the very first time you try it. We guarantee your partner will also notice the difference. Forget those slow-acting blue pills and join those who proudly take Red. Over 50,000 pills have already been claimed and supplies are limited. So to ensure your participation in this free nationwide trial, you must call now.
Superior virility on demand. You only need to take Red once to see what all the fuss is about. Call immediately to participate in our free nationwide trial. Call 800-658-0723. 800-658-0723. Be one of thousands to proudly say, I take Red. 800-658-0723.
8:36 and a check of the roads this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Northbound Lakeshore Drive is jammed. Belmont to Irving Park. 3 left lanes are blocked with a reported wrong-way driver. Southbound, it's heavy. Bryn Mawr to North Avenue. Tri-State southbound jammed from around Gulf Road to Irving Park. There was an earlier crash in the area. Northbound stop and go, LaGrange Road to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial still tight. 75th for the Reagan Tollway. The Army Trail toll to 290. Edens runs 19 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose outbound 29. Kennedy 52 minutes. O'Hare to downtown 42 from Montrose, 50 in the Express. Outbound 33 minutes to O'Hare. Eisenhower an hour and 8 minutes. 390 to downtown. 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 42 to 390. Stevenson an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. It's fine outbound. Ryan 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, partly sunny, shower, maybe a thunderstorm this afternoon, high 79. Currently, it is 68 degrees at O'Hare. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy.
I'm feeling very guilty about Val Kilmer because he has slimmed down a lot and he looks great and he'll be the best Iceman.
Because he had throat cancer.
Well, yeah. He had throat cancer.
Yeah, no,
It's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And
Hey, we can still make fun of him for plumping up before he got throat cancer. That's fair game.
well, he looked like Jeff Bridges for a while, and then
It looks like he ate Jeff Bridges for a while.
Stop.
He-
And also, too, Danger Zone. Kenny Loggins is coming out with a new version of Danger Zone. Remember this song?
Yeah, no, I don't remember it.
Danger Zone.
Yeah.
Did you like the movie Top Gun?
Is Kelly McGillis going to be back now that she's a lesbian? I mean, the
And
whole
she finally
lovage-
breaks up with Tom Cruise
Maybe-
because she's changing teams.
Well, maybe Kelly McGillis, since she came out after, she could encourage Tom Cruise to come out.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be like a whole new surprise ending to Top Gun sequel.
They all fly away together.
Yeah.
To their happy. Oh, life is all about rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
I feel the need for speed.
I mean, did you ever hear the Quentin Tarantino
So
explanation of Top Gun being essentially a metaphor for homosexuality?
Oh, really? I didn't know.
No, the Quentin Tarantino distillation of Top Gun is. I'll pull it. It is. It's pretty hysterical.
Really? Okay.
And shockingly accurate. No, I don't miss Highway to the Danger Zone. Best Kenny Loggins song?
Whenever I Call You Friend.
No.
Which one?
Conviction of the Heart.
Oh, Conviction. That's great. Well, yeah, when parents are getting divorced, you just sit the kids down and play Conviction of the Heart.
Is that an official divorce song?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That we love you, but mommy and daddy,
Don't love
worship
each other
Conviction of the
anymore.
Heart.
We
Yeah.
hate each other.
Now I'm going to take her for all she's worth. In the key of G.
I'm going to take her for all she's worth?
Yeah, because sometimes that happens, and sometimes the women mostly take the man for all he's
Right.
worth, too.
I'm glad you used
Well,
the
no, I
adverb
have
mostly.
friends that the husbands are getting spousal support.
Well, I mean, the friends you
Ridiculous.
have, I mean, they're, those aren't men, really. I mean, they have male parts, but they're not really men.
Who takes spousal support
Uh,
from their wife?
Speaking of androgyny, 10 things you need to know about Harvard graduates.
Okay.
These are going to be the people that lord over us, right? So you want to know a little bit about them. Harvard University, the Crimson, the student newspaper, did a close-up survey of recent Harvard grads to give a bit of a profile of them, these titans, for us, the peons. Number one, it's an anxious generation. Among the class of 2018, 41% have at some point sought mental health support from the university's health services. 4 in 10 Harvard grads have sought mental health
Well, they're under a lot of pressure. They have to be perfect.
So is everybody. These are the...
But they're special.
You want people in charge of all of these cultural institutions that are as tightly wound as this? 41% mental health services? More than 1 in 5 leave Harvard as virgins. The others are sexually harassed. I don't know if one is connected to the other. More than 1 in 5 leave Harvard as virgins.
That's good. That's admirable.
I don't know that it's by choice, but okay. More than a fifth of the new graduates reported having been sexually harassed. So you've got a fifth
Oh, my God.
that are virgins and a fifth that have been sexually harassed. You think it's the virgins sexually harassing the others? I don't know.
It could be. All right, what else you got for me?
72% say the U.S. is going in the wrong direction.
Of course they do.
Yeah,
'Cause
right.
Trump's in power. Go
Correct.
on.
Only 3% of 2018 Harvard grads
I bet they're social outcasts.
backed Trump. 2/3 describe themselves as liberal or very liberal. They're very afraid of speech that may offend. 2/3 of students at Harvard, right, the big brains, the deep intellects, 2/3 said they had at some point chosen not to express an opinion in an academic setting out of fear that it would offend others. Here's somebody who's never afraid to express an opinion out of a fear that it may offend. Sean from Elmwood Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Listen to me. First of all, anyone who strapped on nylon parachute pants, you don't get to talk about the 80s.
That was part of the 80s.
Flipping around. Oh, the whole thing is the 80s. What are you talking about? Top Gun, Val Kilmer. It's all the generation you wish you were good enough to be in. But you're in that sissy generation where nylon pants and flipping around on cardboard seemed to be a good idea at the time.
Breakdancing was part of the 80s culture.
Never in Melrose Park. You ended up in your tighty whities with a couple of lumps on your head. You come in there with parachute pants, for God's sake.
All the cool. Sean, you wore parachute pants.
Never wore parachute pants.
He wore the Cavaricis and the Chess King.
It's the generation after ours.
Did you have an Italian horn?
Yeah, with his Chess King, the Chess King rugby shirts. You know those.
No, Sean King.
Listen, we're the last generation to dress and act like men. Now, I want to tell you something else.
Wait a second. Hold on a second.
Did you or did you not wear an Italian horn?
No, I'm only half Italian. I just get the chain. I don't get anything.
What's the other half?
He's Norwegian.
Norwegian.
You know what?
That's right.
You know what Italian?
We're the first ones to
Hold on a
jump
second.
on other islands.
You know what Italians call someone who's half Italian and half Norwegian?
Half second. What?
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to find out. Go ahead.
Norwegian.
That might be the truth. But listen, I wanted to tell you something because, number one, I was right when I told you Rauner would step down because he'd realize how he didn't stand a chance because he's a fraud. Married to another scarecrow. Doesn't stand a chance. He's going to step down. And all this talk about who's going to replace it. Why isn't it Jeannie Ives? Seeing how she's the only other Republican. What do you mean she doesn't want it? I don't care what she wants. I told her to do it. What do you mean you don't want it?
Yeah,
You're the one. We got all the votes.
Yeah,
she's the only Republican to get other votes. She is the natural. If he steps down, she better get in there.
Right,
or I'm going to Pat Brady's house with toilet paper. We'll tie him up like a mummy because it's outrageous. We're going to get another one of these failures in there. It's despicable, for God's sakes. And the guy who's expanding Medicare that you're making fun of,
This is like a review of the entire show. Yeah, go ahead.
That's the Republican idea. That's exactly what they're doing in Illinois. They expand things as they implode and tell you how good it is for you.
All right. Sean, I got a last question for you. Are you sending either one of your girls to Harvard now that you've gotten a little bit of a sense of the type of individuals who are there?
You got inside baseball because I don't care where they go, just so it's far away. Pick a school that's far.
Bye, Sean. What about you?
You think he's amped up a little?
What about you, Peyton and Eli?
Oh, they're
Harvard?
going to Harvard, please.
Ralph and Rantoul, your kids going to Harvard?
Yeah. No, good morning. Her ACT score was high enough to get to Harvard, but she had no interest.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, the thing, I don't know what's on the list, but here's number 11. Any Harvard grad will tell you he or she's a Harvard grad within approximately 5 seconds after opening his or her mouth.
Yes, that's right.
Every single time, every day. I had a Harvard grad, MBA Harvard grad, work for me as a salesperson for about, 2 years. Every single day when I was at Harvard, finally I said, look, 2 things. Number 1, I remember that you went to Harvard. Number 2, go out and actually sell something, would you? And shut up.
It's like people from Michigan. You never have to ask because they're always wearing the Michigan gear. You know that they went to Michigan. You know who went to Harvard, though, who never told or bragged about it or was braggadocious, I should say? Lauren Jiggets. One day, because she was in my pod at Channel 5, and one day I'm like, you know what, because me, Miss Iowa, like, where did you go to school? And she said, I went to Harvard. You went to Harvard? Why don't you tell people that? Because it's all right.
Yeah, she's smart, which
I love
separates her from most other people in television news. She probably knows a lot of these things about Harvard, and she's not proud of it.
Graduated a long time ago.
So here's a Harvard grad, Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, that's right.
He went back and got his degree.
Oh, that's right, because he left because he created Facebook.
Yeah, there you go. Facebook is getting into the news business. They announced yesterday their first slate of funded news shows for Facebook Watch. This is, they're combating, taking Ben Rhodes' advice from the Obama administration, getting into your news feeds and combating what they determine to be fake news or less than credible news organizations. And by that I mean, of course, conservative. Here are the news shows funded by Facebook, funded for and by Facebook Watch.
Conservative crush.
ABC News is on location, a daily news show with ABC News journalists from around the globe delivering on-the-ground reporting.
Okay.
CNN's Anderson Cooper Full Circle.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Fox News. Oh, it's balanced, right? Fox News Update with Shepard Smith.
Oh, because no way. Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
That's the show they chose?
Univision's Real America with Jorge Ramos.
Oh, my God.
Can you sense any pattern with the news shows that are going to be posted for viewing on Facebook Watch? Do you get any sense of a particular worldview? The Weltanschauung of the of the
I had that in Germany.
Facebook Watch programs. Is there anything you pick up on with this?
It's all liberal hacks.
There it is. But right, that's real news, and anybody that disagrees with the DC Press Corps and all of its allied outlets in big cities like Chicago, they're fake news. Understand?
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Plenty of sunshine right now, but we could have a shower or thunderstorm in spots this afternoon, a high near 80 degrees, but cooler along the lakefront. Tonight, cloudy, a shower or thunderstorm, a low of 59. And for tomorrow, Friday, we're going to have plenty of sunshine, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm possible, and a high of 77 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Kennedy inbound. Your delays are from Montrose to Randolph. It's heavier than it's been all morning, 55 minutes. So O'Hare to downtown, 45 from Montrose, 48 in the Express. Outbound, 32 minutes downtown to the airport. Eden's fine inbound. Outbound, you've got 10 minutes worth of delays between Elston and Lake Avenue. On Eisenhower, an hour and 8 minutes, 390 to the Circle, 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound, 42 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. It's clear outbound. Ryan, 45 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, slow Wilson to North Avenue. Northbound from the Stevens to Jackson and Belmont to Irving Park. 3 left lanes are blocked after a collision, we're told, involving a wrong-way driver. Southbound Tri-State still really bottled up golf through Irving Park after a crash. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey guys, Ken here from the Business Accelerator podcast, Today's Growth. If you had to choose a vehicle to take you up the rocky side of a mountain, would you choose a Ferrari or a Jeep? The Ferrari's faster, cooler, maybe even sexier, but if you have to get to the top, the Jeep's a better bet. I think we can agree getting to the top is not about the driver, it's the vehicle. Have you noticed people often pick their financial vehicle like they pick their cars? Washington Post shared that only 1 out of 4 people choose a job that uses their college degree. Why? Simple. Something more immediate, maybe cooler, maybe even sexier came along first. Shouldn't the main deciding factors for revenue generation be production or output? Should the cool factor have any weight in choosing someone's income? If getting to the top of the financial mountain is mission critical for you, why not add a few Jeeps to your garage? Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that makes it to the top every time? If so, you have to see the Jeeps lined up at IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
I've told you how the MyPillow mattress topper has 3 unique layers of comfort. They evenly supports your body weight, helps relieve pressure points, and keeps your body temperature regulated all night, not too cold or hot. And don't wait to get yours, because in June you will save 30% plus when you buy that mattress topper at a discount. You'll also get 2 free standard MyPillows. That's an unbelievable offer. 2 standard MyPillows free and 30% off a mattress topper, or get 1 low price on 2 MyPillows and receive free shipping. But you have to use the promo code AMY. 10-year warranty on those pillows and mattress toppers, 60-day money-back guarantee. So go online or call now for these great deals and others, including 30% off those amazing pet beds, sheets, I love those sheets, and more. Find it all at MyPillow.com. And when you order, type Amy in that promo code or call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201.
Hey, we know replacing your roof is a big deal and a big decision. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson, the boys from Crumweedy. If your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. We would love to do your roof. Why choose Crumweedy to do your roof or roof repairs?
It's all about installation. Our guys are pros. When we install your roof, you'll get the Crumwitty promise of installation that's up to manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is intact. You'll be happy.
Cost. We give you a good, better, best option. You choose. No high pressure.
We're here. We're a third-generation family business that was built on the same conservative values as you.
We do business the right way. We have a special offer that includes free gutters with a new roof. Ask about it. When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy. 630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
Get all the info at myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity for Upstream-Ideas.com. If Roseanne gets canceled, so should Samantha Bee. Who? It's someone you've never heard of, who has a show you've never seen, who said something vile about Ivanka. Oh, okay, yeah, fire what's-her-name, too. And if Bob Iger is going to apologize to Valerie Jarrett, when is he going to apologize to President Trump? Who? For what? He's a network executive you've never heard of, whose opinion you otherwise find irrelevant, who employs on-air personalities who have said profane and ignorant things about POTUS without consequence. Okay, yeah, apologize. Empty outrage is not synonymous with standing up for yourself or putting in the fight for others. It's just an uninspired substitute for having standards. What Valerie Jarrett termed a teaching moment during one of MSNBC's signature hastily assembled bigot-baiting town halls is actually a trap for conservatives. Jarrett wants you to give in to the left's lack of principles by abandoning yours. Outrage one-upmanship is a two-player game, you see. So ask yourself, do you think we beat them by joining them? Or is the move to be who they say they are but are not, and in so doing give lie to who they say we are and are not?
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies in a capsule.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Hey, Chicago. It's been a long, rough winter. Here at Spring Rock Gutter Guards, we've been getting a ton of calls from frustrated homeowners experiencing gutter damage caused by heavy ice and snow. Now that it's raining, their gutters are leaking and overflowing. Not good. That's why for the month of June only, when you purchase your Spring Rock Gutter Guard system, we are going to upgrade a section of your choice to our patented heated gutter guard system for free. You can take care of that pesky ice problem over your entry door or garage at no additional cost. Heated gutter guards from Spring Rock Gutters will give you peace of mind year-round. Clog-free when it rains, ice-free in the winter. This special gutter guard upgrade is only being offered during the month of June, so call today, 708-571-0632 to schedule your free estimate or visit springrockgutters.com for more information. Don't miss out on your free heated gutter guard upgrade. That number again is 708-571-0632. Drain your gutters, not your wallet. Visit springrockgutters.com.
Earnings vary based on your effort. Message and data rates may apply. Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses right here in Chicago? If so, we have an amazing opportunity for you. We're looking for a small group of motivated individuals to join our real estate investing team. You'll learn our simple 3-step system for flipping homes right here in the local area. This is Than Merrill, star of A&E's hit TV show Flip This House. My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Chicago area who want to learn how to make money flipping houses in your spare time using other people's money. Chicago is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where you will learn how to make money flipping homes and how to build long-term wealth with income properties.
To get 2 free tickets to Than's workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Seating is extremely limited, so text your 5-digit zip code to 82,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and you'll also reserve a free copy of Than's Money for Deals guide. Just text your zip code to 82,000.
AM 560, The Answer.
I just want to sum up the Harvard story since we got rudely interrupted by Sean from Elmwood Park. So a composite profile of 2018 Harvard grads, if you're thinking about sending your kid to Harvard. The composite is a cheating, mentally ill sexual harasser who self-medicates with booze, is afraid to speak their mind, and votes to plunder you. That's what the Ivy League is producing.
Okay.
That's our best and brightest.
Some sad news. The end of an era. I don't know if you've heard, but the last living Munchkin from the 1939 film Wizard of Oz has passed away. And I was thinking, is it an Illinois Democrat?
Yeah, those Munchkins are still very much alive, unfortunately.
Jerry Marin passed away at the age of 98. You may remember him. He made a number of appearances in the film, but he's the one who gave the lollipop to Dorothy in the movie. And he was the president of the Lollipop Guild. They always creep me out. I don't like little people. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, they
frighten you?
Little ankle biters.
Yeah.
Because I'm a beast. I'm really tall, so I was always afraid of them when I watched The Wizard.
The little people aren't here to hurt you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they're fine. Well,
except
for the Shetland Democrats in charge of Illinois.
I mean, really, when you look at all of them, Quigley, I mean, they're tiny little people.
Actually, the Chicago Democrats have sort of ruined the Munchkin brand. I mean, Madigan, Cullerton, Rahm. Daley. They're all
Bill Daley's tall.
They're all
Daley
Cornish people. The people that are in charge. There's no question. Munchkins. Well, I don't want to put them in the same category as Jerry Marin. I mean, you love the Munchkins. You just hate the Munchkin Chicago Democrats. That's all.
Thanks so much for making us part of your day. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, Quinn McCarthy, our associate producer, and Keith Conrad.